Hello, everyone. What is going on? My name is Timpedia, and welcome back to episode 199 of the TNT podcast. Oh boy,
Close.
what a doozy we have this week. So much stuff to talk about. We got to move through this real quick. But
We're
who's
not.
moving through quick? On my right
It's Friedman, also known as Andrew, mostly known as Friedman.
and on my left.
The Cylon Tyler.
You did finish that, didn't you?
I did.
Oh,
I
so
did.
good. But we'll get
But
there
we'll
in
get
like
there.
2 hours.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
First, we have a bunch of smallish news stories to move through, and then we got a bunch of Nintendo Direct news.
Let me reorder. It's going to be
lot of
all
Weeb.
movie news to start.
That's fine. Movie news is good. Maybe we'll even just call this all movie news. But I wanted to start off with the saddest news that's the least surprising. Spiderverse, the movie that was promised 6 months after the second one, which we all knew was a lie, and I dreamed that it wasn't, but it was a lie, is now slated for June 27.
I don't understand this.
This movie has
Like,
been
they-
restarted already at least once.
I don't understand what
happening.
necessitated a restart.
Remember all the articles about the horrible working conditions after the second one? Yeah, that's what necessitated a restart.
But like, you can't announce it's coming out in 6 months if it isn't already approaching post-production. So they
it was
they
a year.
blatantly
but
lied about that 6
It
months.
was a year, yes, but also the headlines. When they announced this, there was also headlines of like the team didn't even know that was the expected turnaround time. So it's just been an absolute disaster. Skywalker thereafter. But there's just no shot at all. So yeah, 2 years and a couple months until we can finally see this movie, hopefully.
Dang, the Wii one is gonna be in kindergarten by then.
Oh my!
Yup, you hate it when you put it in when I put it in perspective like that, don't you?
Don't
He might
me.
He might be old enough that you could show him the first movie.
All right, we're moving on. Oh hey, speaking of movies that I could show him.
Anyway, that
Dude.
same year, you're going to take him to theaters to go see the live-action Zelda movie.
Dude, what the fuck, bro? Why? Who asked for this?
Normies.
Oh, God, no,
Normies
God
asked for this.
damn it.
Normies asked for this.
The two after this is gonna answer that question. But
Yeah.
the Legend of Zelda movie, I hate this.
Tyler, didn't you?
No,
know
we're gonna
that
get
there's
it. No, because I'm gonna pop the fuck off when we talk about Minecraft. I can't stand this.
Oh,
I can't do
boy.
this anymore.
You know what?
Dude.
Let's just make this movies time. Let's just talk about a bunch of movie stuff.
Why? Why? Just IPs. That's
So-
all this is.
So also, this
I
is
hate
something
it.
I added in a while ago, back when I first saw this.
Uh-huh.
There are going to be 4 documentaries about the Beatles, all releasing at the end of this month.
But this one
4
is
movies
weird.
about the Beatles.
I don't understand the strategy of releasing I'm under the impression that some of the movies have reused footage between them. Like, they're not completely independent movies. Like, you're meant to watch all 4 of them as a 4-movie thing. But like, who's gonna go watch the same story of different people every
From
weekend
the
for
same
4
group.
weekends?
Yeah, it's a weird one. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it's a weird one.
listen. It's that they tried this with Resident Evil 6. This ain't gonna work, dude.
I'm very tempted to go see the.
Resident Evil 6 all came out at once. Like, that was a video
Yeah.
game.
Is this not like they're 4 different movies? You're saying? So that means
Yeah,
Yes.
the 4 different
someone would
movies.
have to
4
buy
different
4
movies.
different tickets to see 4 different movies.
Correct.
Yes.
Yo, what the fuck?
That's
So
why.
I'm tempted to go see the first one and participate in the massive fall off to movie 2 when everyone's like, "Wow, movie 1 kind of sucked. I don't want to watch 3 more just like this."
Lamau.
But in the event that this is some amazing theatrical experience where the first movie is just so fucking good that I have to know, maybe.
I mean, I don't.
No,
the simple answer is I don't care enough about the history of the Beatles, so I'm not gonna go see it. But that's cool. And
Wanna be on the
cool, I
ground
mean,
floor when the memes
ridiculous.
happen.
Want to
But
be
yeah,
on the ground floor when the memes happen.
But yeah, probably not watch all 4 of these. I'll be lucky if I watch the first one.
Fuck this.
Oh, and then the final topic. The Minecraft movie is overperforming. Who could have seen this one coming?
So
I hate-
overperforming by a lot.
I'm done, man. Alright, I was watching Red Letter Media.
I
And,
haven't
like-
watched the video yet.
they're super strong. They have super strong like opinions on
Yeah.
things. But man, I agree with them on here. Like I'm so done with the IP slop. Yeah, that's what it is. It's slop.
IP suck.
And I just like all it is just it's just meant to just shut your kid up for 3 hours, and I get it, but come on, man. Maybe when I have kids, I'll understand,
So
but
from what
I hate it.
from what I can tell, a lot of the popularity with the youngins has to do with the viral TikTok marketing they've been doing for this. And I don't like it because it's setting the precedent of this is what you have to do. You need every single one-liner in your movie in an independent TikTok released so that theoretically you could piece together the script if you've seen them all.
Which makes it even worse.
Just
Like
the
we're
biggest
trending
sigh.
towards trying to make a movie and then split it into 30-second clips and just sell people on 30-second clips.
I mean, isn't that how most kids watch movies these days? Is fucking TikTok.
Pretty much.
So one of my brother's friends, this happened last Christmas or 2 Christmases ago. I went to the city. We went to go watch the Hey Arnold Christmas special with all of his friends, and half of them hadn't seen it because they were either too young when it came out or they were all international and it wasn't a thing. But one of his friends like, oh, I saw this on TikTok and I watched the first season on TikTok. I'm like, what do you mean you watched the first season on TikTok? And she's like, yeah, someone had all of season 1 in a continuous playlist. I'm like, how long was each video? She's like, 1:20. I was like, this is insane. Who consumes media like this?
Freeman, hate to break it to you, most kids these days.
I can't believe it.
Henry's not getting a phone for a long time.
This is why people's attention span is in the gutter.
Yes.
I hate it.
Correct.
I hate this so much.
Yep.
I'm infuriated. I'm infuriated because like I feel more mad about this paradigm shift than like I don't know why. I could be completely wrong, but I get huge visions about like people switching to mobile games. Except like there were chances of things like coming back and like narrative focused games made a comeback, and it's like there is a world where both things can exist, right? Where mobile games and this can happen, and I feel like this is not working for movies especially. I feel like we're
Yeah.
just gonna get majority brain rot from here on out.
I mean, yes. Like, honestly,
So-
yes. I don't see what else we do.
So I'm trying to remember the name of the movie, and I feel like we talked about it, but it was this Netflix movie with crap, I'm forgetting the actress. The point is, it was this like dragon movie, and the writing was kind of whatever.
Damsel.
And then there you go,
Damsel?
Damsel.
Oh, yeah, I
the
watched
concept the
Damsel.
concept of a second screen movie where any important fact is brought up multiple times in case you weren't watching the first time it was brought up.
I hate it so much.
And the movement towards that, where it's like we're gonna tell you a story
Vomit.
with the assumption that you're not even paying attention to the story.
Vomit.
And that's what Netflix is like. Yeah, we have to target that like type of person. It's like
I've been really desperately trying to consciously stop opening Reddit and things like that on my phone. I have not succeeded at all. Not well.
Oh,
No, I've succeeded a little bit. I definitely feel like I've been doing a little better, but it is hard to turn away, and like I'm desperately trying to like focus on content when I'm consuming it.
yeah. Back when I was at my apartment, I would like literally leave my phone in the other room when I'd start a show. Where I currently am, where I have to Chromecast everything, it's I can't do that, and I sort of hate it. But yeah, I get that.
Hate it so much. I'm
Anyway,
just like,
No, go ahead.
no, I'm just like thinking about like movies where it's like Coen Brothers movies or anything where they rely like it's just gonna be for niche audiences now. And I get it. It's like you gotta make the bag, but I hate it.
Yeah, it sucks. There's gonna be less and less of the good stuff.
Oh well.
I don't know. I
I'll
heard.
try.
Well, we're not quite at the Nintendo section, but I heard someone was talking about the Switch 2 announcement. They're like, yeah, Nintendo's at the stage where like they can't take risks. And I paused, and I'm like, what? The company who's famous for taking risks is now like they're in a financial situation where they can't take risks. And I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, how has the industry every industry got to the point where your leader is like, we can't risk not having a smashing financial success, that we just have to cater to the bullshit and not try.
Yeah.
I feel like they have some in the like they have enough break glass things and enough cushions that they totally can. Like they have a literal cult behind them. I don't believe that they can't take chances now.
I don't know. You say that, but the cult didn't come through for the Wii U.
The cult did not come through for the Wii U, but they were ready to forgive when the fucking Switch came out. They're like, this wasn't a banger, but then Switch came out, they're like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah. It's the Nintendo cycle. Every other console is financially successful, and they don't like that.
Also, not for nothing, Wii U had 0 games.
True.
Like, actually.
Yes, actually, though. It only had one game that mattered. It was Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD.
You know, before we get too onto since we're going to talk about Switch for like 2 hours here, let's finish up movies, because there is one funny other thing, Tyler. You're talking about not having IP.
My god, I did hear about this fucking gun.
Welcome
reboot.
back to The Naked Gun, starring Liam Neeson.
He's not funny.
I think so I didn't see the trailer for this, but I saw a clip of this. Literally a 30-second clip.
Well, that's how long the trailer was. It was the
was
teasiest of teasers. It's like there's a scene of them going to a bank, there's one gag, and there's gag 2, and then it ends.
So, Tyler, I think based on that clip, obviously that doesn't mean much, but it seems like they're writing around it, knowing that Liam Neeson is not acting, like his delivery isn't funny, but the world around him and the things that he's doing are goofy.
Like, it's how do I describe this? Like, there are certain characters in like Scary Movie where they would be acting completely normal, but the scene around them is where the comedy is.
Yeah, I get that. I think
get it. I think they should have just called it something other than just Naked Gun. They should have called it like Naked Gun First One Again or something like that. Like, just play into how dumb it is that it's a remake. But I don't know. Liam Neeson's kind of funny when he tries to be. I don't know.
Like,
he's been good in like SNL skits.
Yeah, but will it deliver the same kind of like spirit that Leslie Nielsen did?
Oh, no way. Leslie, you watched, like, Liam Neeson couldn't have starred in Airplane. He couldn't have starred in the original Naked Gun. But if they write a funny movie around him, Tyler, here's the thing: we don't get comedies like Leslie Nielsen. Leslie Nielsen. We don't get comedies like that anymore. These straight-faced, where it's not a laugh track and it's not like blatantly like, haha, here is the joke, it's time to pause and laugh. Like, you look at Airplane, I always go back to Airplane. If you watch Airplane now, every second something is a joke and funny, and it could be in the background, it could be a dialogue line, it could be an outfit, it could be anything. And it's always got this little funny thing, and it doesn't always hit perfectly, but it's always doing something. Whereas movies these days are like, haha, quirky dialogue from Taika Waititi. Like, I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, and Thor are really kind of the things that have narrowed us down this path of just, like, the Minecraft movie, I'm sure was like this. Haha, I'm so, like, I wonder if someone literally says, like, skibbity toilet or some garbage like that in the Minecraft movie. Like, I could see that being a thing that happened.
Oh my god, during that Red Letter Media video, there was like a line that was said that was like a famous Minecraft meme, and I was like, are you fucking serious right now? I forget what it was, but it was bad. I hate it.
Yep. So Naked Gun reboot isn't an instant no for me, but yeah, I don't have any interest in the Minecraft movie.
It's an instant no.
Also,
these are all instant no's for me.
Also, why make Zelda live action to go back to the beginning?
That's what I'm saying. All three of these are no.
Every normie in the universe has been asking for this shit since like 2007.
But why live action?
What normie? No. I want to hear this. Who?
Have you ever been on Facebook? Have you ever seen it? People are like,
yeah,
look at this fan cast and this is great. People do it every year for eternity because they're like, I think this would be great, ignoring every other time that it wasn't.
And I'm a Zelda dick rider. You know this. I have a Triforce tramp stamp and everything. I don't want this. I do not want this. I hate this.
The only thing and it wouldn't make it good. The only thing I want out of a live-action Zelda movie is I want to hear the line, "Well, excuse me, princess," at some point. And if they don't do that,
See, Freeman,
because you
Freeman,
have to have a talking Link for this movie.
I'm gonna
You're
be
the
honest.
problem, Freeman.
You're
the
you,
problem.
Tyler. You're the problem.
Yes,
You're the problem.
I'm the one they made the Minecraft movie for. Aren't
Not
I?
even fun.
You
Not
are.
even kidding. You are. That is the problem.
And you proved it this weekend. We were watching Harry Potter Guns, and when they got to Wingardium Leviosa, you're like, all right, I'm done. I've seen enough. I am satisfied.
Yeah, Freeman was here for the meme.
No. So I've already watched the whole movie all the way through, and the reason I said okay, I'm done, because from that point on, there's significantly less gun scenes in the edit, and you kind of forget what you're watching.
But then,
Anyway,
see, that's the goal, because you forget about it, and then when it shows up, you're like, oh shit, that's right.
Yeah.
Like, it's very good at making you forget.
Yeah, listeners are out of context because we talked about this like 3 years ago when it came out. Harry Potter and the Deathly Weapons. Someone edited guns over all the wands. Great edit. Go find it. Go watch it. Best way to watch Harry Potter 1.
Best way. Especially if you haven't seen it in a while. If you've seen it.
Even if you've seen it recently, because you expect scenes to go a certain way and then suddenly someone gets shot.
Yeah, it's really funny. It's great. Especially when, I don't know why was it why am I forgetting his name? Lupin? Is it Lupin? No, it's not Lupin. The Defense Against the Dark Arts. Yeah, Lupin. Oh yeah, when he was
From
running.
Dragonheart?
Oh yeah, from Dragonheart. When he was running into the hallway and like with his wand,
Troll
and
in the dungeon.
he shoots himself in the
Oh, Quirrell.
Quirrell, yeah, instead of passing out.
Yeah. Instead of passing out, he gets shot in the head. I was
really...
like, Jesus. Oh my god, it's funny. It's funny.
All right, let's move on to some video game news.
Yeah, let's move on to some.
So this is half
one
outdated.
video game news that's not
updated.
branded by Nintendo.
Yeah, let's talk about Monster Hunter Wilds. So when it first came out a month ago, geez, time's flying. Everyone's complaining game's too easy. It feels like it's lacking content. Why is there no gathering hub? There's been a gathering hub in every single Monster Hunter. Where is it? And they came out, I think it was last week, the content of Title Update 1, which came out last Friday, and they showed off the monsters that are going to be in it. Like the final boss from the main story who you mysteriously can't fight in high rank. Oh, surprise, he's back. Here's the gathering hub. It just screamed, here's content that was very much supposed to be in the day one release, and we just couldn't get it done in time. So, is what it is. Title 1 update is out now. They gave up the game roadmap for the next 3 months, so we know a couple of the new monsters coming out, new challenges they're going to add, new games. It's not game modes, but it's like specific time challenges where the top 10,000 players globally on the time challenge get a reward. Obviously, everyone's hacking it right now, so there's no point in doing it. And then they did a separate developer interview where, like, we're listening to people's complaints, we're addressing some of them. We hear people are very mad that there's no layered weapons in the game. We'll bring them in, and everyone's like, thank God, because the last couple of Monster Hunters you made us buy an expansion to get that feature. So some core basic features are finally coming to the new Monster Hunter game.
Whoa.
No word on optimization.
Yeah, because Freeman, that's not content.
Which, spoiler, it's not coming.
Are you shocked?
Not really. This engine just isn't good.
Well, Freeman, so the way
hey, that's Resident Evil 6. Yeah, that's Resident Evil engine you're talking about.
Right,
watch your tone.
This engine isn't good for pseudo open world games.
All right, that's better. You know, it's really funny too because I asked Aiden about this. Like originally, I was like, "Bro, I don't know. You're saying this Resident Evil engine will work with this?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's pretty good so far." I'm like, "I don't know. This game, this engine, where like was supposed to go around a game with like tight fucking hallways, like even the Devil May Cry game, right? It's like there ain't much on screen. Like
it's still
mostly,
a pretty narrow area whenever you're in it.
Yeah, like there's a lot of, it focuses on atmosphere than anything. And when it doesn't, it's like you said, it's like corridors or like these like very focused areas where, oh well.
Yeah,
sorry,
I mean, whatever lighting system they have is phenomenal. Like there's the first map in Wilds is a giant desert, and one of the big like fights is during the lightning storms. Beautiful when it's happening, but it also chugs like hell because it's not designed to do these giant levels all at once. All right, enough Crabcom. Let's talk about Nintendo.
Enough of
So
Crapcom.
Oh my god, this is so
So
much direct news.
there was
Jeez.
only supposed to be one direct talked about last week, and we didn't have the podcast. There were 2 directs. They had one specifically about the Nintendo Switch 1, which is the last one they were going to do before the Nintendo Switch 2 direct a week later. The Switch 1 direct, it was a lot of games that had either been earlier announced but didn't have trailers, or ones that hadn't been confirmed for Switch. I'm just going to rapid fire a bunch of these and whether they're good or not. First one I thought was cool was Life of Goldman. It's like a side-scrolling shooter, kind of like Cuphead, and it has that same kind of hand-drawn-ish art style. But the main character is just an old man. I thought it looked kind of charming. I still haven't played Cuphead, but this one looks cool. Witchbrook. This one is by it's not the studio, but the publisher that did Stardew Valley, and it looks like one of these like pixel, almost like a Neopets era online pixel MMO kind of thing. But it's basically like you're at Hogwarts. It looks pretty neat. I don't think it's Switch exclusive. I'm pretty sure this one's coming to Steam as well. But I think it looks like the next big cozy game. So I'm keeping my eyes on it. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I don't know about you guys, but I used to play the X-Men arcade game all the time. And this is just the next Marvel beat-em-up game that's using the same kind of pixel sprites they had back in the arcade games. So if you're in the market for a cool side-scroller beat-em-up with Marvel stuff, this looks pretty good.
This looked pretty good.
I'm excited for
X-Men,
it.
welcome to die.
It's
Dude,
pretty much
that's a classic.
It's like one of 3 arcade games I'd actually emulate in these stupid handheld emulators I keep buying. Next one, I almost wasn't sure what this was when they were showing off the trailer for it, but one of the Shin Megami Tenseis tried to spin off into their own series called Raido, and it's been stuck on PS2, never touched again. And then they announced they're remastering it, and they show off a trailer, and it's like, this isn't a remaster, this is a ground-up remake. Why aren't you advertising it like that? So they're completely remaking Raido from PC, from the PlayStation 2 onto Switch, and I don't think this one is coming to PC. This might actually just be Switch 1 exclusive. And then I was shocked. Patapon 1 and 2 are getting remastered for Switch. This was a formerly Sony property that Sony doesn't want to touch anymore. So
that is pretty crazy, actually.
Yeah, so they're remastering. I think this is Switch exclusive. I didn't see this on Steam, but
it's probably because nobody wants Patapon. So
sort of. But you say that, but the studio that makes Patapon is releasing a new franchise that's the same fucking gameplay, same audio, same everything, and that one's on pre-order on Steam. So there has to be some market for a rhythm game, or they wouldn't be putting all this shit out. That said,
I don't know.
I love Patapon too. It was one of like the 5 games I owned for PSP. Good rhythm game.
No. Rephrase that. That's one of the only 5 games on PSP.
Yeah, there you go. I owned all of them, all 5 of them.
Yeah.
And the next one, we talked about this one off recording last week about Shadow Labyrinth, the weird path and Metroidvania that they're coming out with. I saw it. The trailer started. They didn't say it was Namco Bandai, and I'm just like, is this like, what's this like discount Pac-Man shit? And then he transforms halfway through the trailer, and it's just the Pac-Man noise. And I'm like, oh wait a minute, this is an official Pac-Man game, isn't this?
This is official.
Oh my god, yeah.
Fake Pac-Man.
There are rumors though that the first trailer was just supposed to be Pac-Man focused, and there's gonna be a lot more Capcom game crossovers in this game as it goes on. I am genuinely curious. I'm not that big of a Metroidvania person, so I'm not gonna tell you I'm gonna play this, but I am gonna watch shit about this on YouTube.
This game looks like shit.
You think?
I said this last time, but I have
Sure
to
did.
immortalize it in these words.
You do.
Like it looks like a AA, maybe even like an indie game.
Here's the thing: I don't know if I'd even call this a AAA game. Like, I don't know what studios are doing if they want to start releasing these smaller 2D, lower resource games, like to be AA games again. But I don't know how they're trying to position this one, considering this was like the announcement trailer.
I mean, I'm down for that idea. That's not a bad idea to do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was all the stuff for like partners. The rest of this stuff was all Nintendo only shit. So the first big one was we got the Metroid Prime 4 trailer. For everyone out of the loop, Metroid Prime 4 was announced forever ago. Then it got canceled. Then it got brought back. We have not seen anything about it other than the title of being Metroid Prime 4. And now we finally got a trailer. And I hate to say it, this looks like a Wii game. Like it does not look that impressive. And I don't know if it's because they were waiting to reveal the following week. Like actually, Metroid Prime 4 is also coming out to Switch 2, and it's going to look better on Switch 2. But the Switch 1 trailer they put out like I'm not going to sit here and say that it was graphically unimpressive, but from like the gameplay they showed off, didn't look that good. Like it felt like a very 2008 console shooter.
It is also running on the Switch.
Yeah, it's running on some ancient
so-
hardware. And then I don't know who's editing trailers at Nintendo. The same team that does the weird cuts in the Pokemon trailer decided we want to show off Samus's new like outfit, but not even half a second before her full body's in frame from the zoom out shot, we're just going to end the trailer. And it's like, what was the point of the last 10 seconds after you cut to black to show off the outfit, and you don't even want to like get her in full profile? You cut it out like before we see this, like it's zooming out, the camera gets the ankles, and the screen starts to fade to dark. So like for like a frame, you can see the whole thing, and it's like, well, if you wanted to show it to us, just show it to us. I don't know. I gotta get a job editing trailers for Nintendo because it's getting out of hand. And then next big one was we got the Pokemon Legends ZA detail. So a couple weeks, I think the last time we recorded there was a Pokemon Direct. Yeah, Zop. But they finally explained what the fuck Z to A means in this. So they already showed us like weeks ago that it's in the city. There are these zones. Here's what it's like during daytime, and they're like, but what about at nighttime? And then they revealed the whole gimmick is daytime there's shit going on, but nighttime there's a tournament where you're trying to increase your rank, and you start at Z and you're trying to become rank A. So that's where the Z to A comes in. But the whole time watching this trailer, I'm like, this is Battle City from Yu-Gi-Oh. And
I'm over it.
graphics still don't look that good.
See, all right, remember this moment now, everybody, including you listeners. This is where Friedman will not say he will not get this game, and then he will turn around and get this game.
Hey, listeners, you want to know what I did this week?
Oh no!
I purchased the first Pokemon Legends game.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself. See, this is what I'm talking about.
This is the one that you told me I should try, Tyler.
Oh wait, that's true. No, you're right. That's true. That's true.
Yes,
that is
but
true.
notably, I did not purchase Scarlet and Violet, and I will not. And I'll talk about later why I will not. Again, because that's all I do on this podcast. Moving on, last two semi-controversial. Nintendo announced their new game sharing system. So up until now, you had to log in on your account on someone else's Switch if you wanted to share games with them. Now they've made specifically some system for game sharing where it's like you can just lend out your one copy to someone else. It's still pretty ass, not gonna lie. But the fact that they're doing this means they're cool with shutting down the idea of multi-console logins for your account. So for anyone who was part of a sharing network, this is a net loss for you, even though you can now legally do it through Nintendo stuff. Whatever. This is definitely going to tie into... Actually, I'll just talk about it here, because I'm pretty sure... Actually, no, they don't do it. They do this whole system of creating a virtual cart that you're lending out to someone, and it ties into Switch 2, where they're now going to sell you digital games, and if you want to have it on a physical cart, you can save it onto a rewritable cart. So the system kind of plays into what they're moving to with Switch 2 and digital versus physical. Anyway, last thing they announced at the first Direct, Nintendo is actually getting tired of Twitter and doesn't want to be on it anymore. So instead of moving to Blue Sky like a normal company, they decided they were just going to launch their own app, and all it is just the Nintendo-only Twitter feed.
Yep. Actually, that's what the live-action Zelda got announced on.
Yeah. It's, like, I get it. I remember back in the day when Smash Dojo was a website where every morning Sakurai would go and reveal some new thing in his game, and I would go in to go look at it, and I realized the Nintendo Today app is that. You want to get your daily updates of, hey, look at this render of the Moo Cow who's going to be in Mario Kart 9. Here it is.
God,
this is for you. Silly app. It's interesting to see Nintendo saying we don't want to be part of social media. We'll just make our own. But it is what it is. Flash forward a week, and we're at the Switch 2 Direct. Interesting games. We got Donkey Kong Bonanza. For anyone who's been out of the loop about the screenshots from Mario Kart 9, which then got revealed to be called Mario Kart World. Donkey Kong got redesigned based on the Mario movie.
Freeman, don't you mean hold on? Don't you mean Burnout? It's called Burnout World, not
Damn.
Mario Kart World.
Dude, every time I saw World in my mind, I heard World Iceborne from
Dude, all
Monster
I
Hunter
want
World.
is see, all I saw was Burnout Paradise, and if they could just play Take Me Down to Paradise City in this Mario World game, that Mario Kart World game, that'd be a 10 out of 10. Just the open world driving, just make it a little more violent.
You have people crashing for real. None of this shell nonsense.
Dude, that if they could put the slow down crashing tech, but you see like Mario characters flying off their carts, that'd be the greatest racing game ever. Oh my god. That'd be amazing.
Anyway, yeah, Donkey Kong. It's back to being a platformer. Looks super cool. It kind of reminds me of the Kirby game we got, where it's just like this top. It's not. How do I put it? It's almost like a top-down fixed camera for a lot of it. Like it's not like Mario Odyssey where the camera's like moving around. Either way, looks interesting. We got Mario Kart World, new Mario Kart. This one is the part where everyone got super mad because they were like, "This one is going to be $80 because it's a premium video game." And it started the whole pricing discussion around Switch, and we'll circle back to pricing at the end of this. Local game sharing is back. For anyone who had a Nintendo DS and you like playing multiplayer with people, but they didn't own the game, you could just have them download like a small little fragment of the game to play multiplayer with you. It's coming back with Switch 2. So cool concept for people who like playing multiplayer with people actually in person. Nintendo has their own voice chat solution. It straight up just looks like Discord. It performs like ass. In their reveal trailer, they had to drop the frame rate to like 10 frames per second on everyone participating. It did not look good, and I don't know what they think they're doing. For anyone who thinks Nintendo is great at internet networking solutions, I have a bridge to sell you. Moving on.
Oh god.
One of the games they announced was to show off the new features of the Switch 2. They announced Switch 2 Welcome Tour, which I saw. I'm like, okay, cool. This is a cool demo thing they're going to include. No, this is a $10 game that they're trying to sell you as a tutorial for how to use your system. And they've been under a lot of fire for why is this not a pack-in title or a free download. And Nintendo, very like in their own Nintendo way, they were just like, we would never give something out for free that puts so little value in what our employees are creating. It has to be valued at something. And it's like, no, you don't get it. Like a tech demo isn't $10 of value. I don't care how many employee hours you paid to make this thing.
Look, the story. Look, Freeman. It all goes back to like back when the Wii was coming out. Reggie had to beg Nintendo Japan to give Wii Sports out with the Wii. Like, and that turned out to be the thing that like made the Wii the household name. But Japan has never been into giving things away for free ever.
I know, but like you flash back to what happened.
They learned from us
with what was the game Switch 1-2, which was the same thing for Nintendo Switch. Anyway, moving on. So Switch Welcome Tour is not free, but we got a couple more games coming up. The first one was that they're doing another Hyrule Warriors game, and I didn't play the first two, I think they were, but this one is definitely set in like the Breath of the Wild universe of Zelda. We saw, I don't know if Zelda is the main character of it, but she was featured very prominently in the trailer. Moving on, for Nintendo subscribers, I believe it was N64 was already a bonus add-on. They're spicing up the deal. Switch 2 exclusive, if you're a Nintendo Switch Plus expansion subscriber, you now get GameCube games. The opening lineup's pretty good. We got Wind Waker on there. We got F-Zero GX.
So
Pokemon. Oh, God.
No, I was just gonna say, it's the funny thing about Wind Waker though. Why don't they just put out the remastered version they did for Wii U?
I know everyone's now very upset about what version is the version you're supposed to play, because the thing is, these aren't just the normal GameCube versions. Nintendo's actually doing some type of upscaling on them so they look a lot better. So the
man, Wind
Switch
Waker
Online,
HD looks so crisp though.
I know it's the definitive way to play it. But for the games that don't have HD remakes like Wind Waker, the Switch Online version of GameCube games may be the best way to play them. And
also, sorry, go ahead. No, go.
I'll say to sweeten up the deal, just like what they did when they brought N64, is they're gonna make Switch GameCube controllers, and they've already made GameCube controllers in the modern era. But these ones, from what I can tell, they're Bluetooth, they're USB-C, and they're Nintendo official, which we haven't had before. And now that's
Smash fucking sweaty nerds are coming out. They're beating their dicks to this.
Of all the things announced here, because I'm not buying a Switch 2 at launch, I don't know how excited I am about most of these games. The thing I'm most excited about is this controller, and I want one just because you now have wireless GameCube on your PC. So if you want to emulate GameCube games in your PC, you now have a great controller to use for it.
Can we stop pretending it's about anything other than Melee, please?
It is about more than Melee. No, I'm not memeing here. I'm not memeing here. So I own the Retroid Pocket 5.
Are you agreeing with me or Friedman?
I'm agreeing with you, Tim.
Okay, good. Thank you.
No, so I own the Retroid Pocket 5, and one of the issues is button mapping, because the GameCube is designed around the A button being the center of your controller, and everything else stemming out from that button. And in the traditional like 4-button grid, it doesn't always work out cleanly. So I like the big A button for all these GameCube games where it's like 99% of the game is the A button. So
You're the
That's
only
just me.
person who agrees with this.
I would also
Fine.
say I agree with you, Tyler, and I would also counter Freeman and say the only reason you feel that way is because you played a lot of GameCube, and what made you play a lot of GameCube? Probably Melee.
So here's the thing. I played a lot of GameCube. Like I owned a GameCube and I played a lot of GameCube. I just disagree. Like I don't feel that way.
All
And
right.
I've also like I don't know. I played games where like not as intended on a you know what I mean. And I never felt that way.
Gotcha.
Like now unless it was like, and the only game I did feel that way where I felt it was weird was Smash.
It's weird because I played a majority of Smash Ultimate like in handheld mode, and it wasn't the worst. Yes, it felt unnatural after decades of playing with the GameCube controller, but like to be perfectly honest, games that use the like the analog shoulder button, those are the ones where I really appreciate the GameCube controller. Like trying to play Mario Sunshine when it got remastered for Switch, not that enjoyable without that smooth shoulder play. But it's only certain games that care about that. I will say it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The biggest problem with the controller they're releasing is because the GameCube only had one. It had both triggers, but it only had one shoulder button. They put a shoulder button, but it's not a full functional like Z2. It's this tiny little button, so that way they have one if you need it, but it's not really meant to be there, which kind of kills the whole thing for any modern gaming. But if you're using it for GameCube emulation, it's fine.
It's not analog, is it? It can't be analog.
What?
Because you brought up analog. Well, I guess there's the analog controller, but the buttons can't be though.
The shoulders are analog.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because like the whole point of releasing this is for use with Nintendo Switch Online for the GameCube games. Because
I know a lot of stuff recently they couldn't have that. Like PlayStation doesn't really have like at least analog face buttons, I should say.
Oh, yeah, because they used to with on the PS2.
So here's a genuine question: do you think this is a sign that Melee would ever come to this console?
There's hope.
I didn't say hope. I said, do you think it ever would?
Maybe. I think it could. They know how popular Melee is.
Is it that popular, or is it just a bunch of people that they don't want to have hold tournaments because they smell really bad?
Now hold on, I'm curious here.
But listen,
not about the
they turn out and they spend money though. It keeps getting brought back to Evo.
Here's the thing. What are they spending money on? Original manufacturer GameCube controllers? Are those guys gonna buy this? I genuinely don't know.
They did the first time.
Oh, I'm just gonna point this out here. Smash 1, the N64 one, not available on Switch Online.
Whoa.
So there is no precedent for re-releasing Smash games on Switch Online. Now, the day they do Melee, though,
suffering from success.
If they somehow, if somehow they introduce netcode into Melee, it's over. And by over, I mean
so that came up
because
another podcast I was listening to brought up the fact that they are re-releasing what's it called? In terms of fighting games, as part of this GameCube thing, they are re-releasing the GameCube version of what's the fighting game? Huh?
Soul Calibur 2.
Soul Calibur 2,
Link in it,
which did not have online and now will have online.
Yeah, so we're almost in certain cases getting enhanced GameCube games, which I think for people like me who are very nostalgic for the GameCube, this is super great. For everyone else, it's backwards compatible with Switch 1 games. Congratulations. And then the last announcement, literally the last thing they tacked on, that took me hours to find out about because people were screaming about prices on the internet, was we're getting Kirby's Air Ride 2. This is the game that Sakurai shut down his YouTube account to go work on. So I'm
coming at her. They pulled me back in.
Dude, if he came back for Smash, I'd feel bad because he always complains about how it's terrible for his health to work on Smash Bros. But the fact that it's a Kirby game just makes it so much better.
So Freeman, you want to hear a bet?
What?
I bet he came back and was allowed to do Air Riders because he's gonna come work on the next Smash game after that.
Oh, this was negotiations. Like you get one Kirby game and then you're back in the Smash room.
Isn't Kirby Air Riders like his baby?
Kirby
Yes.
Kirby is his baby.
Kirby is his baby.
So yeah, Sakurai, you can come direct a Kirby game, and it'll make a little bit of money, and it'll be cute, and then you develop our moneymaker, please.
See, I have absolute confidence in Sakurai that he knows that the real game mode, City Trial, is what we're all here for. We don't
I
give a
was
shit
gonna
about the actual
say
racing
he
game.
could just re-release City Trials and he wouldn't even need to make the rest of the game.
But it's got me thinking, like, what would a modern City Trial look like? Like, how big do you try to make the map?
Not that big. The fucking original was already big.
But like, could it go bigger? Like, could this be
Yeah.
GTA 6?
No, you just want different. I mean, I would ask for different ones. And yes, you
Yeah.
could make it bigger. But I
I
would
definitely
want
think
like
he's going to do
different
like
shit.
multiple maps, but then like also include the original.
Dude,
Maybe.
that was the best. That was the best.
So good. It's the only.
Speaking
it's
of
the only
which,
thing
hold on. This is all right. No, because now we get to the crux of what I wanted to say before, and why I think I legitimately have a beef with Nintendo. It's not
Oh.
it's not all this other stuff we were saying, right? It's not the unwillingness to change. It's not the unwillingness to like, or sorry, it's not like all the lawsuits or anything like that. I realized out of an epiphany the other day when I was yelling at my friend about Nintendo and why Nintendo sucks and why I hate them
Jeez.
is that I think because they haven't released an F-Zero game since GX, and I think deep down I am just really upset by it.
Fair.
I don't blame you. I got into the Wipeout series because I was waiting for another one.
Like I honestly didn't think about it. I was like, holy shit! Like I remember loving GX, and honestly, that was like one of the reasons why I didn't want to get rid of my GameCube. Was because I played all of the other games, but I'm like, I keep playing GX. Like I was just wasting my time on GX for no other reason than to just play it. And then I ultimately got rid of my GameCube.
You know what's so funny to me about Nintendo? They clearly don't have an interest in certain properties, but they're always willing to put the old versions of those old property games out just for people like Tyler to try to drag them back in.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
I've seen through their
Tyler,
sick lies.
Tyler, you should buy a Switch 2. You know, you could play your F-Zero GX again.
Absolutely not.
Tyler, do you see through the lies of the Jedi?
Oh, I do. Oh, you bet your ass. The reason why I went Sith is it's all Nintendo's fault.
Oh my God, is there still more about Nintendo? Jeez.
No, so the last thing was the pricing. So speculation was going to be $400 to $450. It ended up being announced at $450. The big issue was that Nintendo said, "Hey, gamers, we heard that you're angry about games that previously costed $60 costing $70, and you're not used to this new $70 price, and we get it. We only made Zelda $70 because it's Zelda. Well, surprise, $80's the new benchmark. So Mario Kart is released at $80.
Surprise.
Then there was a lot of news about how there was a digital and physical price split, and physical would be more. And I was like, so you mean Mario Kart is $90 physical? But Nintendo never actually said that, and it seems like it may just be 80 on both. Not defending them, just clarifying the misinformation. That said, they announced pre-releases are going up. I think it was like a week later, and then the release date was like May. And then not even a couple hours after the direct, Tariff Man came and hit us with the tariff news, and Nintendo the following day said we're not going to be taking pre-orders in the United States until we know a little more. Meaning we don't know what the price of the Switch is going to be in the U.S. until we know what the economic conditions are like.
You know what?
So
good.
We're looking at a $600+ Switch potentially.
Yeah, baby.
Damn. All right.
That said, like the PS5 would also be like over $1,000. So take that information as you will.
Make gamers suffer.
Make gamers suffer.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I told you guys, I'm probably not gonna buy another console in a long time. Like, if I buy a console,
Tyler, I hope
the only
you
one
stick
would
to
probably. I mean, dude, the PS5, I'm just like whatever. Like Michelle and I even talked about it. We're like, if like there's only one game that I probably want so far, and it would probably be a Zelda game, like a new mainline Zelda game. At that point, I can borrow it from one of my friends or something like that whenever they're willing to. If they're willing to, if not, then whatever. I don't care.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think of all the consoles I've owned, my Switch is the one I've played the least.
Yeah, same.
I mean, look, I ain't fighting you guys. I'm not buying anything new anytime soon. Like I'm in extra no rush. I mean, this is
That's it. I'm still very much a console supporter. I like sitting on my couch and playing. Yes, I could just run a long ass HDMI cable from my computer and maybe get the job done.
I'm not even saying that. I just think
Or
like
run your deck or something like that if you have something else.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely options. I think it's just like I know we've talked about this before, and we still have a bunch of news and stuff, and so I don't wanna hold off for too long. But like it to me, it's like I've said this before. We're entering the age where it feels like what is the return you're getting on these new consoles? Like, what is the return?
There's
of
plenty. There is still plenty of return.
Oh, there is. It's cheap. It's cheaper than a graphics
No, no,
card
no, no,
now.
no. Sorry. You're misunderstanding. I didn't say what's the value in a console. I mean, like tech as a whole more. Like, what are you getting out of doing an upgrade tech wise? Like, yes,
It has nothing to do with tech. Well, it kind of does, but so like we are the wrong target audience for this. And this kind of answers like what we thought you were saying too. Like, like the consoles, especially like it is for the parents. It is for people who like are not tech savvy and they just want shit to work.
Want a
no,
dedicated
I'm
device
not.
that does a thing.
I'm not arguing that at all. But like, when is there gonna come? I feel like okay, especially with this whole tariff thing. If the Switch is $600, does it sell the Switch 2 sell as fast as the Switch 1 did? No.
Oh no, but it's also because no one's gonna be able to buy anything under those economic conditions. But that's not what this
Yeah.
podcast is about.
And I'm not saying it is, but like, I don't know. It feels like even beyond the economic conditions stuff, like we're heading towards. I feel like we're heading towards this era where like it's just not seen as necessary to buy something like that anymore. It's not seen as something where you buy a new console. Like people are gonna get more out of older consoles.
I'm gonna give a counterpoint. So my cousin, he grew up on the PS1 era. He loves video games. He wants to introduce his son to video games. He asked me, "What's the best way to introduce him to older stuff?" And I told him, "If you don't want to go the legal route," and I pulled out the Amber Nick I had with me. I was like, "Do this." He's like, "What about the legal route?" I'm like, "Well, if you have a Switch Online subscription, you can just play all the games on there." And he said, "Well, they're gonna come out with a Switch 2 soon, right? I don't want to buy the old one if it's about to become outdated. I'll just wait for the new one."
Yeah, guess
And
what?
my
The
my cousin
rubber's
was
about to hit the road on that.
Look, yeah, but the thing is, like, no one's talking about this. The Switches that are currently in the United States will continue to cost $200. Switches not currently in the United States will cost $400. So it's not like we're comparing 600 to 200. We're gonna start comparing 600 to 400 for
All
any
I'm
Switch
saying,
ones that are left.
all I'm saying is like when Henry's old enough to start gaming, I'm gonna just plug in some old stuff and be like, "Hey, you want to get a new console? You got to earn it by playing something old first." Like,
Look, when Henry grows up and he wants to play season 48 of Fortnite, but your Xbox can't handle it,
then I'll
there's gonna be a you parenting problem.
Yeah, it will. I'm not arguing with that. Just tired.
I'm just tired.
Tired of everything costing $1 million and tired of and just it feels like we're heading towards this inflection point where it's just like a lot of the brakes are about to start coming off a lot of stuff soon, it feels like.
I mean, we're at the point. So the big reason you say like, what's the point in getting a new console? Last gen, no one wanted to leave the install base because it was too risky. It was too risky to release a game that could potentially be sold to less people than if you just sold it to everyone else who already has the consoles. And we're what, 5 years into the PS5's life cycle? When did this thing release?
17?
Was it
I
2020?
think.
It was 2017 this came out? No.
Yeah,
It came
the
out
Switch
2020.
One?
No, the PS5.
Oh, the PS5, yeah,
PS5.
2020.
Yeah, we're 5 years in, and only now are some games starting to drop PS4 as a supported unit, purely on the size of install base. So it's very much when economic times are tough, you got to sell to everyone. So when the PlayStation 6 launches, I guarantee we're going to be halfway through that life cycle before they stop trying to support the PS5, especially if we keep having these consoles that use the same console architecture, which I'm not criticizing. I actually prefer it because it means we just get perpetual easy backwards compatibility forever. But yeah, unless people stop manufacturing for the older consoles, no, there is no major drive to have to upgrade.
Oh, it should be inexpensive.
Yeah, no,
That's it.
Honestly, if Final Fantasy VII didn't happen, I don't think there were any PS5 exclusive games I've played until Monster Hunter Wilds. Everything else I could have gotten away with on a PS4.
I played. Nah, you know what? That SSD changed my life.
It did. It made Witcher 3 go from an obnoxious game every time I died to trivial.
Yeah,
I legitimately had to wait 3 minutes to reload after dying in Witcher 3 on base PS4.
that's the real incentive for you to not die.
But that was it. Like, if I had a PS4 Pro, I would have noticed the difference. It was PS4 to base 5, which again, that was like an 8-year technology jump. Which now an 8-year technology jump is not as significant. Anyway, let's keep going. We're spending way too much time talking about Nintendo. It's Weeb shit time. So first and foremost, Trigun Stampede is getting another sequel. No, they're getting their sequel, Stargaze. Tim, you finished Stampede, right?
Genuinely can't believe that after I talked so much smack about the original Trigun on this exact podcast, I'm excited for the sequel to Stampede because I enjoyed Stampede so much more than the original.
That's pretty cool.
I'm crazy. I'm excited.
I'm interested, especially because they teased what's her name returning, the one they wrote out of season 1.
Oh, what's her name? The ditzy.
Millie?
Yeah, Millie.
Millie, best character in the show. She's definitely coming back in season 2.
Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah.
Anyway, it's Studio Orange. Every time they come with a new show, it looks better. So Trigun Stampede was not by any means an ugly CG show, so I'm excited to see how Stargaze looks.
Dare I say it was in the top 3 CGI shows of anime so far.
I still got to watch Land of the Lustrous. Anyway, Stargaze is interesting. Probably going to check it out.
Yep. This is old news now that it came out.
Yeah, another show about dude in a red coat firing guns. So Netflix's Devil May Cry.
Oh, yeah.
So this is now out, but it was breaking news when I wrote this 3 weeks ago. Evanescence was originally purported as doing the opening, which I don't think is accurate anymore because after watching 2 episodes, it is distinctly Limp Bizkit doing the opening to this anime.
What the fuck?
But on the day that Evanescence announced their new song Afterlife for Devil May Cry, Netflix went and DMCA'd their music video. So no one could listen to it after the announcement because Netflix is screwed up.
Stupid idiots.
Yeah, either way, it's up. It is an Evanescence song. I was today years old when I realized they were still a performing band doing new music and they hadn't gone on hiatus.
So did you guys see the video I sent you on Facebook yesterday? I know Freeman did. Tyler, you might have ignored it.
I might have. I get so many messages.
Are you kidding me? I took a video and sent it to you like up from my camera, not even a meme or something.
Sorry, bro. Sorry.
So Val and I were on. We watched. Oh God, we caught up on Apothecary yesterday, and I was on my phone and I saw someone post the Evanescence video. Like there was a video, like basically like an AMV practically, like one of those videos where it's shots from the show, and they have the text of the song, like the lyrics all over it.
The lyrics videos.
The lyric video, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. I threw on the video for DMC, and I was like, this looks kind of fucking hot. And I watched the first episode yesterday. So Tyler, if you watch the video I sent, it was because the opening song, like Freeman said, is what's it called, Freeman?
Rollin'. I don't know what the song title is.
Roll. That was literally the intro
Is it
song.
really that
Yes.
one?
Yeah, it is.
Tyler,
Oh my god.
go watch
bro.
the Facebook video I sent you guys. I literally was like, they have to know. And I pulled out my phone and started recording it for you and Friedman. It was hilarious. Honestly, the show's great. I'm going to watch the show. I told Val she should try to watch the first episode on her own now while we're doing this, so that if she liked it, we can watch the show together. I'm totally going to watch it.
This makes me not want to watch it. I hate this.
You're wrong. I'm totally actually interested in watching this. It is weird.
You don't understand. You didn't grow up watching wrestling and hearing when the Undertaker changed his entrance song to this, and you're like,
Tyler,
why?
I'm sure that's true, but also Devil May Cry is mostly just like wrestling with demons.
You just don't understand.
You're right,
You
I don't.
understand
And
my plight.
you know what? I'm glad I don't understand because that would.
I'm glad you don't. That you don't have to suffer like I do.
Yes. But anyway, DMC first episode was great. I'm not gonna talk about it more, but the only weird thing is after watching multiple LPs of Devil May Cry 5 and listening to Johnny on Bosch's Nero, and now
it's weird hearing him as Dante.
Listening to hear him as Dante, I'm like, man, they could have just cast anybody else or made this about Nero and it would have been fine. It's just so it's weird. He does a good job. He's playing up near Dante, but Dante's original VA was like a little more gruff and sounded a little more depressed. Johnny Young Bosch just sounds like he's having a good time. So
yeah, no,
it's a little weird.
Like the last time I heard Johnny Young Bosch, he was doing Trigun, and in Trigun he was very much depressed. So hearing him just full on back to troll mode characters, it's phenomenal.
It'll probably change as time goes on, but like, also Friedman, I know you said in the trailer there's a shot of Virgil. There's one shot of Virgil in episode 1 for a quarter second, and I'm pretty sure the music is playing in the background for that quarter second.
It is. That was the one I messaged you, where there's a remix of Bury the Light that plays for that split second he's there.
It is so quiet and in the background. I was like straining to hear it.
I was losing my shit when I heard it.
That was pretty great.
I'm like, yes, they did it.
So yeah, Freeman, if you want to watch this together, I would watch this together if Val doesn't want to, or we could even make it a Thursday show if she wants to watch it.
All right, we can. I saw episode 2 during lunch day, so I'll pause if you want to we'll regroup on episode 3.
Let me find out from Val, and then we'll...
Thanks for the invite. I appreciate it.
Fuck off. You were just saying you can't
just said you didn't want to watch
the
it.
intro.
Nah, I was just joking. I'd probably watch it, though, still.
Oh, hell yeah. Give it a shot. I think...
Give it a shot. We can all watch
it. So far,
the
the action's been good. I'll say this. The writing in episode 2 is way better than the writing in episode 1.
I don't think the writing was terrible. Oh, also, Tyler... who's been one of the Batman voice actors?
Is it Dean? Is it Jensen Ackles? Is it Jensen Ackles?
No.
I don't care then.
Hold on. I'm trying to find the cast for whoever plays the VP, Friedman.
Why does
you
it
said
not
one of the
here?
Batmans, and I'm like, Jensen Ackles?
It's a Batman voice actor.
Yeah, Jensen Ackles is a Batman voice actor.
Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy's dead.
Well, Tyler, I don't know how to tell you this. He must
Kevin
have
Conroy is the voice of the vice president.
He is the voice of the vice president. He must have recorded all this before he passed away. It is him.
Yeah, he died in 2022.
And yet somehow it's him doing
credited.
the voice. He's credited as the voice, and it is him. That's what threw me off. Yeah, Kevin Conroy is the VP in Devil May Cry.
Yeah, that fucked me up because I'm like, what? I was like, yeah, why did they do voice lines then
I don't
for
know.
him?
Maybe that's why the writing isn't good, because they had to, like, use his old audio or something, Friedman? I have
Yo,
no
don't
clue.
tell me they fucking AI'd his voice or some shit like that. That'd be crazy.
I would hope not.
Oh, you guys thought about it. The quiet made you... You guys
Like,
thought about it, didn't you?
I don't know. It sounded like him. It sounded natural. I didn't catch anything that sounded...
Oh,
natural.
hold on. He didn't finish recording by the time of death, so a second voice actor recorded unfinished dialogue for the character.
Oh, okay.
But we're still in the first couple episodes where it's just purely him.
That's still wild to think that they were working on this 3 years ago and recorded dialogue.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
This is this is probably his last role. That's wild to think.
It probably is. Yeah, that's really sad.
Yeah.
Because he was great.
He was. Kevin Conroy was awesome. Anyway, I didn't mean to make it about DMC, but yeah, Evanescence did their song, and the song isn't bad.
Wake me up.
I listened to the song. I watched
bad.
the video. The song is pretty okay. I was like, Val, people would probably be a fan of this.
It's a distinct.
You're talking about Limp Bizkit being okay? Is that what you're saying?
No, Evanescence.
No, Evanescence.
Oh, okay. I still never listened to the Evanescence song.
It's an Evanescence song.
It sounds like a song we would have listened to in the early 2000s.
Wake me up. Save me.
All right.
Lord. All right, rapid fire time. Chainsaw Man movie. We got the announcement it was coming out September 9th in Japan. I think 2 weeks ago they confirmed October 29th we're getting a U.S. theatrical release.
Thank God.
So super cool. Only like a month and change out. Very nice. Jurassic Park season. Yeah, it's going to be a good movie. This is... I don't know if there are other Mappa movies, but like based on how Chainsaw Man looked, this is the kind of thing where I want to see this in a theater.
Anything to give money to support Chainsaw Man getting more, because this thing is a banger.
Yeah.
Be good. Speak good.
moving along, Dress Up Darling season 2. We knew it was happening. We finally got a July release date, so it'll be next season. ReZero season 3
Summer is
wrapped
so
up.
stacked. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's so many sequels coming out next season. It's like I don't know if there's gonna be time for original shows. ReZero season 3 wrapped up. I'll talk about it during our watch and played section, but in uncharacteristically of ReZero, they went ahead and confirmed another season as opposed to waiting 3 years to announce another one. So we're getting ReZero season 4. This is the next arc is supposedly the arc. I'll just say this: I was very upset with the lack of deaths in this season. So I looked online, like, are there more deaths next season? I looked at the death count. I said, oh, okay. So I'm excited for the next season of ReZero because this is gonna be the
Freeman,
one.
can I just say?
Yeah.
You said the same thing at the end of season 2.
Yes. And you want to know what happened? There were less deaths in season 3 than in season 2. So the trend wasn't going the way I wanted to, and now it's about to correct itself.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying, like,
Oh,
everyone else got off the train.
I know, but I'm still here wanting him to die. Like I'm the weirdo who's like,
wanting him to die.
Please kill the main character. But I don't hate him. Anyway, Konosuba season 3.
Speaking of Kadokawa properties, randomly getting another season announced right away.
Yeah, so they learned their lesson. I think half of these announcements, I don't know if these announcements were Anime Japan, if that was the last episode we did, but like they realized just keeping the IP in people's minds, you're more likely to buy waifu pillows. Who would have thought? So, Konosuba season 3, the OVAs that I think they're already out in Japan, they announced they're coming to Crunchyroll. There is going to be a preview screening next weekend at SakuraCon, and then at some point after that, we're going to get them on Crunchyroll.
I need it like air.
Yeah, because I think it was on the previous episode that we talked about Konosuba is getting a new anime project announced.
Yeah, we didn't know
what it is.
We didn't know what it was.
Yeah, but the OVAs are separate. Those had already come out by the time. Those had already been announced in Japan before this new project announcement. But we're going to get the OVAs, so super cool. Blue Box ended their run, confirming they're getting a season 2. Medalist, same thing. Sports anime ending and saying, hey, this is doing well. We're getting a season 2. Medalist was only 12 episodes. Blue Box is 25. I don't know if they confirmed counts for any of these. But with Medalist, the studio up until now has yet to successfully release a show. So congratulations, Studio NG. Please keep up the good work. Season 1. I'm halfway through season 1 of Medalist, and it's pretty good so far. So just don't drop the ball. Shangri-La ended and immediately.
Medalist, they did say we need animators to help because our timeline is way shrunk for season 2. Like they put out a call on Twitter.
I think they said they want to like put it out in 6 months or something, which seems kind of insane.
I thought it was 9.
I get it because like it's not a. How do I put this?
Uh-oh.
Like there is CG for some of like the gymnastics ice skating scenes, which are like in terms of the amount of screen time less than a quarter of a given episode. But like once you already have your CG assets, like you don't need to spin them up again to do the next show. You just need to maintain your CG staff.
So you say that, but then it still took forever to get like Trigun and stuff like that.
Yeah, but Studio Orange is unique. Like I don't know, they upgrade their shit every show they do. So like when they come around for Stargaze, it's gonna look different than Stampede did.
Anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off from the best news out of maybe not the best, but one of the best.
I mean, praise the fucking Lord they announced. But Shangri-La season 2 ended on a cliffhanger.
Double cliffhanger.
It's like
Double
it's not only are we interrupting one arc to do a side story, we interrupted the side story to end season 2. So now there's like 2 layers of interruption with no resolution, and they confirmed season 3. So thank God.
Clearly, they knew they were going to get a season 3 because there's no way they would double cliffhang if we didn't know already.
If they didn't know they were doing this, they wouldn't have even started this gamer sub tournament arc.
No, they would have had him get out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shangri-La, we'll get to it. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah. And then Too Many Losing Heroines, which I didn't think was going to get a season 2.
This is getting
Shocked we're getting a sequel. I'm excited. I want to see more. This was a very good. It was a very funny show.
This seemed like the most stereotypical one and done season from a high production studio.
What definitely happened was they're like, oh, we already have enough girls on screen. Like everyone's going to lose interest if there's too many of them. And then 100 Girlfriends showed up and proved the opposite. So they're like, okay, we can have more Losing Heroines. And then last thing,
all of them.
And then the last thing I was so psyched for this one. So Grand Blue season 2, the trailer released, but the big thing about the trailer is that it has the opening song playing in the background with a little dance bit from the opening. The same group that did the last opening. I enjoy it. It's never going to be as iconic as that first opening, but I think it's still going to be good. So I'm super excited for this, and that one is also this summer. But that's it for the Weeb shit announcements.
Wow.
Now we can take a break and talk about some non-Weeb shit for a little bit before I talk about Weeb shit again. Oh god, wait. Oh, it's all me to start off here.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah. Okay, so I had a massive movie marathon like 2 weeks ago. So the first movie I watched was Companion, the one about the friends are at a lake house and one of them's an AI and someone kills someone. It was an interesting concept. I actually recommend this movie. I thought it was really cool, especially because I don't know what I want to say about this, but like it brought up the idea of someone has an AI assistant. How much of what you tell them to do or say reflects you versus the AI? So like if you had an assistant and you like let it on to kill someone, who's at fault?
So is this not like Ex Machina? Have you seen that movie?
I haven't. Do you know who you're talking to?
Maybe I do. I don't know. I don't know what you've seen. Yeah, you know what? Then yeah, you know what? I do. You're the same dude who hasn't seen Gladiator. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So you know who I am.
You're right.
Anyway, I really liked Companion. It started off as a mystery because it doesn't tell you straight up right off the bat someone is an AI. There's little hints, and then it becomes a murder mystery.
I do like Jack Quaid. He's cool.
He plays his character very well in this movie. I don't know if I want to say
because you watched a movie with his dad in it recently.
Yes, I didn't realize. Like I noticed the last name. Like there's no way they're related, but turns out they are.
Guess what? They're related.
Yeah, runs in the family.
Say psych again.
And then that day I did a double feature with Companion, and then I watched The Gorge with I forget the actor, but Anya Taylor-Joy is in it. And loose synopsis is there's this gorge that's effectively like a portal to hell. And a bunch of nations all defend it, but they all send a sniper to one side of the ravine, and 2 people watch at any given time. And it's about there's 2 snipers on opposite sides, and they sort of like fall in love, and they try to go across the pit to each other. And one of them falls in; they have to escape the pit. It was an interesting movie until they fell into the pit. When they were doing this long distance sniper relationship, it was a cool concept, and then it just turned into kind of like a crappy action survival movie.
Damn.
So I didn't like it. I liked the first half way more than the second half.
It looked like shit.
Yeah, kind of was. I wouldn't watch it. And then the next movie I watched, I saw this one in theaters because I was excited for it when I saw the trailer last year. But Mickey 17, the Robert Pattinson movie where he plays this guy who's he's on the space mission, he's expendable, so if he dies, they clone him. But then they have an incident where he's not actually dead and they make a clone anyway. And I really wanted to see this. I want to see them do the whole clones rights who's who. It's kind of like with that what was that movie we watched, Duel, about clone yourself and figure who's the real one. So same idea. Weird. The problem is, just like with The Gorge, it lost what the fuck it was trying to do halfway through the movie.
Oh, no.
And it just turned into Avatar.
Oh, jeez.
So I was very disappointed with the back half of the movie. I think Robert Pattinson's thing where he plays the same character, but they're different enough that you can tell which one is which one was really good. But I kind of want them to just release the extended version because I feel like they cut out an entire had to be 45 minutes of plot lines in the back half. So not great. And then we go from 17 to 7 or 7 in.
So 7 in.
Don't know why we picked that one, but I hadn't seen it. I wanted to watch it. It was very good. I'm realizing
what's in the box.
I finally understand it. I finally get it. That was a good scene. Between that and Silence of the Lambs, I think the late 90s thriller hunting down serial killers, there has to be more movies in this genre because it feels like they had them during that time period. Or maybe I'm just drawing lines between 2 movies. Either way.
I thought 1 was way better. I didn't really like 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh yeah. Hot take. Didn't like 7.
All right.
I thought it was just there. Everything was there for shock value, and there was no real substance.
Wow.
You can say I'm wrong, but I didn't like it.
I don't think you're wrong. I feel like a lot of the crimes felt like that.
No. I'm not saying this against you, Tim. No, I'm just saying in general.
So defensive.
I am dude. I have to defend myself every time I give a hot take. Is apparently when I say hot takes. This is not to you guys. It's not to you guys.
It's your other friend group.
It's my other friend group's like, yo, what the fuck, bro? Imagine if I say something then it's like I'm saying I don't like onions for everything. Like I gotta defend
Oh
myself
my
to the
god, this guy
very
not
end.
liking onions. I can't
That's what
believe
I'm saying. It's like that conversation. See, you get it now
it. Yes,
because
it's
you have
like
to
that
fight
with
me on that.
everything.
uh,
I don't
yeah.
think you're wrong. I just can't believe it.
What are we talking about? 7 or onions?
Or onions, yeah.
Our first
Anyway.
comment in like 100 years on this podcast is going to be, "Oh my God, Tyler doesn't like
Tyler doesn't like
onions."
onions.
Dude.
Anyway, I enjoyed 7, and then all three of us watched Dragonheart on Saturday, which I hadn't seen. That was a movie.
It sure fucking was.
I was not sure what to expect going into that.
I wouldn't say it is quote good, but I enjoy it.
Tyler, do you think it's good because you've been around Leslie for so long?
No, when she first showed me the movie, I was like, this movie's not good, but I think it's charming in a way that I would probably watch it again, though. I say that in like like I liked it enough that I read the book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I almost if I had it on my retro, I was gonna try and play the PS1 game after we finished watching that movie.
I was so hoping you would be able to. That would have been so great.
That would have been really funny. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's not a good movie. Like, by any means, it's not a good movie. It doesn't hold up well.
It definitely
Leslie
feels like
says the CG holds up, and I'm like,
oh no,
whenever he opens his mouth.
You can see the texture of the texture of the scales stretching at times. I'm like, ooh, this does not look good.
That was real funny.
Yep, it does not hold. This is not a Balrog, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tyler, stop! It's the same thing.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Sakamoto Gaze.
Yeah, I'll move quickly through the anime that I finished and spend more time on the anime I started. So Sakamoto Days. This was it's John Wick retires and now he's in a comedy anime. This show sucked. I was overhyped for it because everyone hyped up how good the action in the manga is, and it didn't translate to good action scenes in the show. And the comedy is like, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like, if I'm not laughing at a comedy anime, something's bad about the show. Like, it can't not be funny when your genre's comedy. Like, it's just too much of the simple bullshit slapstick humor that just doesn't hold up. And it seems like they're going to do the same thing that the franchise Hitman Reborn, which I loved back in 2008, but it's not 2008 anymore. They're going to do this thing where they keep introducing comedic hitmen until suddenly it's like, all right, we have enough for a full cast. Let's do a serious arc with them. And it seems like that's what they're going to pivot into. And they announced a season 2, but frankly, I am not invested enough to watch season 2, so I'm out for this one.
I mean, you're preaching to the choir. I dropped it because I just didn't care I watched episode 1 and I was like, this is not entertaining or funny.
Yeah, I think my brother actually watched episode 1 as well because he just finished watching Free Run, was looking for something like, oh, this is the one that everyone on the internet's talking about, and he watched it like that was it.
Talk about a shift, jeez.
He's like, is this it? Is this the one I was supposed to be watching? I'm like, nah, man, don't. I'll find you something else.
There are thousands of options that are better.
Yeah. And then ReZero ended. I liked it better than season 2, but it still did not hold up to season 1. It almost tied up too neatly. Like, the main character just won and no one lost anything, and I don't like that. Like, ReZero has always been about something bad happens to someone.
Go to sleep.
Subaru has to work so fucking hard to get the perfect line where no one dies, and he kind of just nailed it. And I was just like, all right, fine. Like, once you get far enough in a story, I get you don't want to time loop and lose all this character development, but structure it differently then. Use what your show has unique about it. Otherwise, we're just another fantasy show. And supposedly season 4 is going to do that, so I'm excited for that. But season 3, do better. But speaking of shows that did better in another season, Solo Leveling Arise.
Oh boy.
It's not beating the generic power fantasy allegations, but the action is beautiful. This is one of the best looking shows I've seen. This is the Sword Art team is yeah, let's turn it up even further and just pump everything into these crazy fight animations. So
I'm not gonna lie, I will next time I go to San Francisco for work, and like have a couple days on my own, I'm probably gonna watch some Solo Leveling. I
Do
really
it.
have, it's near the top of that list in the back of my mind.
As much as I shit on it for being a power fantasy, it's probably like the best modern one. So definitely watch it. It's worth the watch. I'm not going to sit here and say it's bad. Just know that it's not. This isn't some masterpiece in writing, but it certainly is an execution. So I'll give it that. And then we were talking about Shangri-La. Do you want to add anything more on it, Tim, or can we just keep going?
Shangri-La Genki da Mini.
What'd you call me?
Don't just.
No, Shangri-La this season was excellent. I don't know. Shangri-La is like just consistently firing on 8 out of 10 cylinders. Like this is the show. I think I told this story before, but this is the show I would wake up every Sunday. Val would take Henry for a little bit, and I would, before I drifted back to sleep for a little bit, I would watch Shangri-La every Sunday morning, and I was always satisfied. There was always cool action. I still remember the fight against Lycagon. Especially the final attacks at the end, those were hot. I'm invested in it's so fascinating because there's so little that like really draws you into the world of Shangri-La itself. But I'm still curious about it because there's enough little weirdnesses at the edges that like I'm invested, you know?
Yeah.
And at the same time, I don't mind taking a break to go play other games because it's like, hey, here's other games in this world and here's other things we can do with it instead of just focusing on the same characters in Shangri-La itself. So I think they're doing a really good job with the balance. I think the pacing has been good. I'm pretty interested in a lot of the characters. Like overall, it's just a really good time. Shangri-La has been a very needed, consistent, solid show that I would say between the 2 seasons has basically never let me down. It's not like near the top of my list.
Consistent between the seasons.
It's very consistent and consistently good, which I think is really impressive in today's day and age, especially with a show that has come out swinging with 2 seasons of 24 episodes when so many shows will only commit to a 12-episode run. The fact that the show came out and said, we'll do 6 months, take what? A 2-season break, Friedman, and then do another 6 months and confirm that we're coming back for a season 3? Like, this is kind of unheard of consistency in production, I feel like, in today's day and age.
No, I'm not sure what it is with the studio that's doing. I think they just don't have a lot of stuff every year, but it's the big thing is that the company promoting Shangri-La, their previous like headlining title was Attack on Titan. So they need some new big thing to promote. So I think this is what they fell on, and they hit a winner.
It's working. I mean, I'm really enjoying it. No questions here. I'm always glad for more Shangri-La, and I would highly recommend this to anybody who, again, just like season 1, has any interest in gaming at all, or is just interested in like a decent, fun story that really doesn't have crazy stakes and is just kind of about min-maxing, honestly.
This is the epic gamer moment in the anime.
Oh God.
That's how I described season 1. It still stands for season 2.
I mean, I don't like saying that, but I would probably agree with it.
All right.
Man.
And let's move on to the best show of the season. So, the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You season 2 finished airing.
Peak.
A lot of our friends lost respect for us because we watched this.
No, let's put it. Half of our friend group lost all respect, and half
Who's
of our
half?
And the other half was watching.
Boys?
You, Leslie, Louis, Val.
Me? Wait, when did I? What did I?
Wait, you haven't lost respect for us for watching this?
I haven't even seen this anime. What?
Oh, I thought you were in the camp of 100 Girlfriends. This is the stupidest thing ever. You guys are losers.
Let me ask you something.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Something as degenerate as this, do you think I would disapprove?
No, you'd be laughing at it with us because it's a comedy.
All right.
Man, I wish you were watching this with us, Tyler.
I mean, if I got invited.
Okay, so okay, fine. Leslie did watch an episode though. Val's the only one who like saw this come on and left the room.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, you're talking to the guy who watched High School DxD and said that he liked it.
That's true. That's true. No, I mean, look, for all the good I said about Shangri-La,
We're about to invalidate our opinions on anime.
no,
here.
I'm not. No, not that at all. Like 100 Girlfriends, also is like was a super fun and exciting watch, especially Yumi and Luigi watching it and getting really into it with each other. Like Freeman, some of the best laughs Yumi and Luigi have ever had together were probably over the course of watching jokes in this show. Like
Most was the baseball episode, but I'll say it. This was. I'm picky about comedy anime, and I was dying of laughter on this one.
Yeah, I get. Look, I would not fault anybody who says this is too trashy, this is too silly, this is too dumb, whatever. Like, no judgment here. But if you can stomach any amount of like trashy anime, this is just so fun. This is just good, clean, stupid fun.
Clean? It doesn't sound clean.
Well, it's
You say that, but like, so
simple.
By the end of season 2, he has 11 girlfriends. Only
11
one
or
of them
12.
is like the sex joke character. The rest are all real anime characters. Which is happening in this weird kind of
except for that one episode where they really
okay, we don't talk about that episode though, but outside of that episode, it's relatively tame except when one or two characters are talking. So this isn't just like sex comedy the anime.
It's not. It honestly, and also it does help. It genuinely does help sell the show that Rentaro, for all the memes, he really is like the best
wholesome
boyfriend
character.
And the most wholesome guy who like loves all of his girl. Like the show really does, as silly as it sounds, the show relies on the fact that he can make them all happy, and you believe that, and you kind of do when you're watching this. You're like, yeah, okay, he's really putting in the work to like do the things. And yeah, it's like anime logic stuff, but there is that sense of like, yeah, this character does care about all of these girls, and it's not just a thing that like he's not like, oh, I'm into this one today or tomorrow. Like I feel like there's so many other shows that would be like, oh, what have you done for me lately? Like it's the harem show of like, well, I don't really notice this one's affections until they're gone, and then I can't. It's like, no, this doesn't play any of that. This is just here for jokes and fun. And frankly, the amount of like fourth wall breaking jokes in this show was actually hysterical. Like, Tyler,
Crazy.
There's a joke where one of the characters is like, so are we going to address the fact that we just showed a scene where we added 2 girlfriends to it who weren't in this scene in the original manga, and then another character goes, stop breaking the fourth wall, you idiot. And we all were dying laughing.
Or like the opening sequence, like, how do we pretend that it's been like 8 months since season 1, but like it's only been a week?
The show saying, guys, it's been 6 months since season 1 finished airing, but for us, it's only been a week.
Oh God, I'm actually watching something right now that has similar jokes.
It's
really
I can't tell you what I'm watching because I said I was going to be a surprise.
Yay.
All right.
Either way, we don't have to stay.
I'm also watching a scene on this, and I do not like the art style.
There it is.
What? All right. I'm sorry. I can't like everything y'all like.
No, it's fine. You can. We tried. We hoped. We dreamed of you watching.
I'm watching a baseball episode. Like
the baseball episode.
Oh my God. There is.
I haven't laughed yet.
Well, that's not a surprise.
There's only one gag.
There's a couple, but there's one gag that really is so out of left field. And
I like the girl who held 3 bats in her like she's fucking Zorro.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Dude, there are so many references in this show. It's ridiculous.
It's a Shonen Jump franchise, so they're allowed to make these references.
Right, Freeman, let's let Tyler watch some while we talk about the show that I still don't know how to feel about.
Yeah, I don't know how people either. So Zenshu, the Mappa original about an animator who dies and gets isekai'd into their favorite movie from when they were a kid.
Zenshu.
It was
legally
the song
required.
is forever stuck in my head. It was a cool show. It was very much Monster of the Week, and then tried to tell a story, and then almost didn't tell a story, and then tried to wrap it up like too neatly. It was an interesting 12-episode ride, but like I was expecting more out of the finale when I probably shouldn't have been.
I don't know how I thought this was going to end. And frankly, I don't think it really could have carried it. I think this is a show that was just cursed to be one of those, the concept is cooler than they have the ability to close it.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, and I don't regret watching it. I just don't know how much I'd race to watch a season 2.
That or a rewatch or anything. Like I'm not even clamoring to recommend this to people unless it's like a very specific niche of like, oh, you like old anime movies, you're appreciative. Well, maybe watch this.
Yeah, that's a good point. This is definitely a show that if you have a strong affinity for old anime, they really do. Like, there are a couple scenes where they're like, hey, look, we're drawing in the exact art style of 90s anime movies, and we're even doing the letterboxing and everything. Like, isn't that cool? And it's like, yeah, that's cool, but also, like,
Yeah.
So, it was good. I feel like I'm underselling it a little bit. Like, it wasn't...
I know, we're kind of down on it, but like, it was still a good show.
It was still a fun ride. It's just, again, like a lot of these one-and-done anime, like,
anime originals.
Like, what Heroines could have been, or like any of these other 12-episode, pretty animes with a cool concept, it just kind of fumbled the ending a little bit and felt like it didn't really close it out that wonderfully.
The animation was beautiful. I'll give it that. Mappa knows what they're doing.
Freeman loved the transformation sequence.
Thank God I did, because they reused it in every episode.
Every episode. It's their one flex shot that they included.
All right. And then I have 2 new shows. So the first one, Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quacks. Not pronouncing all those U's. G-Cucks. Yeah. So episodes 1, 2, 3 were in theaters. They reordered them for the TV show. So in the movie opens with explaining, and I didn't know this about G-Cucks, but it's instead of being a different, unique, separate Gundam timeline, this is an alternate timeline to Gundam Universal Century, where at the end of the 1-year war, Zeon wins. And the Earth Federation is just chased back to Earth. So Zeon rules space. In the theatrical version, the first 30 minutes are the retelling of the like bits you need to know about the 1-year war, like who's Char Aznable, who's Zeon, what did the Gundam look like, because it looks like a fucking Eva in this one. But for the TV show, they jump into what was the second half hour of the movie to just introduce you to the characters in the world, and next week is going to be a flashback into how did the 1-year war play out differently, what is this alternate universe we're in.
So one episode in is you guys have to be interested in this.
I'm saying if you're like the kind of person who watches only Universal Century shit and doesn't like the alternate Gundam timelines, go watch this. But if you're one of those people who like with Witch from Mercury who wanted to jump in and not know jack shit about Gundam, sorry, you're gonna have to learn what like 4 different words mean. You need to know who Char is, what a new type is, what if someone has a PSICOM system, just know it's psychic communication. And like if you hear this little jingle noise, just know it's the new type sound. That's it. Congratulations, you know what Gundam is.
Jingle jingle.
And they're going to explain everything you need to know about the 1-year war in the next episode, where they're going to say, here's what happened, here's who Char Aznable is, and why everyone's like flipping out about how he might still be alive. So it's a Gundam show for Gundam fans that I don't think you need to be like balls to the wall Universal Century fan to appreciate. They're going to explain enough that you can get by. If you can Google what a new type is, congratulations, you have the mental capacity to figure out what's going on in G-Cucks. That said, the main character she stole 2 Gundams in the first episode. I love this already. She's way more proactive of a protagonist than Soletta was. I'm concerned because the art style looks kind of weird. It's the dude who does modern Pokemon character designs that I really don't like. But the action was decent. The CG robots are kind of whatever right now. We'll see how it plays out, because even Witch from Mercury had some struggles with their CG robots, but these ones are like all CG. Like there's no hand-drawn Gundam so far.
Whoa.
So I'll let you guys know after 3 episodes if it's worth jumping into. I'm excited. I'm not like after watching episode 1, I'm way more excited. Just the main character seems like she's gonna be way more interesting to follow than the cast of the last one. And then the second show I watched today was My Hero Academia Vigilantes. It's weird getting a spin-off set within the MHA universe, and within the first episode, it's cool seeing like All Might back during his active hero years. But it looks like Hero Academia, but it looks slightly different. I was looking up, like, did a different studio do this? What's going on here? And Studio Bones formed a subsidiary studio, and this is their first project. So like it looks like Hero, but like when they show All Might on screen, he looks a little off, like discount All Might. But everything else is very consistent with the art style. It's way more comic. It's way more comic booky, where there's a lot of like English language onomatopoeia on screen with comic book text. So they're playing much more into the comic book superhero angle than the main Hero Academia series. But like we also get characters that we know and see in the background. Like at one point, the main character like helps a woman cross the street and it's Deku's mom. Or what's his name? Eraserhead shows up at the end of episode 1. So like it's very much like this is, I don't want to call it fan service for Hero Academia, but it really is. It's like if you're a fan of the franchise, you're gonna like this show. It's definitely a more grounded hero story set in that universe. So if you like Hero, you're gonna like this. There's no beating around the bush here. And that was it for anime. Let's talk about other stuff.
I'm excited to try it. Val and I gotta sit down and actually start the thing.
I mean, I liked episode 1. I think you guys will like it.
I bet we will.
Catch up on regular My Hero.
Jeez,
you
there's
do.
An insane amount of stuff on here from you, Mike.
Yeah, because it's been 3 fucking weeks of shit on here.
And yet somehow no one else has this much.
Yeah. So I've been over the course of the last year and a half, I've been playing Pokemon Emerald. I took a hard pause last year when I was in the skiing accident because I was playing through Emerald and then I got to the Elite Four, and I stopped playing Pokemon because I realized that you have to level grind like 11 levels and there's nowhere to grind. And this is kind of my retrospective on Pokemon Emerald. I still love the old Pokemon games. I don't want to sit here and grind out Pokemon games anymore.
Nope.
I think I actually just don't want to play them anymore, which is weird given that I bought Legends Arceus to see what the new formula looks like. But I feel like I'm almost just done retreading these old games, which is weird to say.
Yet sounds reasonable.
Yeah. I'll still say Emerald was still very fun, but for the love of God, figure out your level curves. I don't want to sit here for 6 hours grinding before going to the Elite Four on like level 38 Gravelers. This shit is stupid.
I think, not to go on a huge tangent, I think a big part of why we loved those old Pokemon games so much had a lot to do with our amount of free time we had to sit and do that grinding before we got to that point.
Absolutely. That was value-added content. Now we see it and we're like, what the fuck is this? I have better stuff to do. All right. The next two are kind of hand in hand. I finally got back into building Gundams. I started, it's called the Master Grade Ball version Kotoki. For anyone watched the original Gundam, there's little ball dudes that go flying around. Absolutely dumbest robot in the series, and they made a Master Grade out of it, so I'm building it now. But the thing is, this is the oldest kit.
Building it now.
This is the oldest kit I've built. Like up until now, I'm building a lot of like the high grades released 2015 and later. This kit came out in like 2003, and it shows. Gundam kits did not used to be that simple to put together or have good decal placement. This is rough. It opened my eyes to how much better Gundam technology is now. Because from 20 years ago, these kits are a little bit rough.
Yeah.
Anyway, and it goes hand in hand with the next thing, because while I'm building these Gundams, I've been listening to the audiobook for the BookTok novel, The Fourth Wing.
Oh my god.
And this is not a critique of the book. I'll talk about the book next week when I'm done with it, but I'm here to talk about the graphic audio format, which is basically, rather than an audiobook where you just have a narrator, like they have a full cast, they have like sound effects, they have light background audio. It's almost like just listening to an audio play rather than listening to an audio book. I do enjoy it. Not gonna lie. I used to listen to, I forget what it was. It was one show where I listened like the audio only for, and I like the idea of a show that's just descriptive enough that you can picture it in your mind. And I like this format for that.
You mean old school radio programs?
Pretty much.
Back when War of the World scared the shit out of everybody.
Exactly. It's exactly like that broadcast.
Yeah, I tried it once with what did I try it with? I tried it with Warbreaker, and I was not a fan. Michelle heard about them, and I was like, go for it, but I wasn't a fan of it. He was thinking about actually listening to Red Rising to him. But I also don't recommend it for her, but
it's hit or miss though, especially because like side characters who don't have a lot of lines, they don't get amazing voice actors for them. So you'll like a character come in and just say like the cringiest line imaginable, and it's fine because that's the actor's only line. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm probably gonna listening to the graphic audio format for the second book as well.
Nice.
Word.
But yeah, that's it. That's all the stuff I consumed in 3 weeks. Someone else talk about what you did.
Stop, or there will be trouble. Tyler and I both finished RoboCop, the AA video game.
Dude,
Tyler
the most double A
made me
video
get it.
game.
Oh man, it's so AA. It's not even funny.
Fun fact, it's
free
free on
PSN now.
PlayStation. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I have to download it now.
It's you know what? This game really embodies the spirit of RoboCop in that it's a janky movie made on like $5, and some of it doesn't work that great. But
down to the coding, it embodies RoboCop.
But it does have a thing going for it, and it does have that spark of that whatever the original RoboCop had. I didn't even watch the movie.
I'm about to say, says the guy who didn't even watch the movie.
Yeah, I know, but like I told you, I've watched the movies that made us and really enjoyed that, so that counts.
That counts. Yeah, yep, that's right.
No,
that's
but
right.
Genuinely, like even just talking about the game, like the game is fun. The game has a lot of jank. There's stuff that Tyler and I talked about, and I know we could talk about it on here. I don't want to linger on it too long. There's choices in the game that don't really affect all that much, and it feels like some of the choices are meant to be a little bigger than they actually are. Like, gaining the public trust versus restoring order. Like, there's no world where restoring order is ever the good answer. It feels like this is the kind of game, like, what did I describe it as, Tyler? This is, if you took Deus Ex Human Revolution, gave it RoboCop, but cut the budget in half. Like, that's...
You cut the budget by 2/3, but yeah.
Sure. Like, you revisit the same 3 square blocks of Detroit over and over again. Some of the upgrade stuff is really janky. Like, the combat feels meaty, but also definitely, like, the upgrade system that you use for your gun. Tyler and I arrived on the same optimal answer without even really talking about it. Like, there is no build diversity. Like, there is. They present it like there is, but every option except the one we took had such crushing negatives. It's like, why would you ever do this? It's annoying that you can only carry one other gun at a time because it's basically your pistol and then one other gun.
But the AJ9 though is like,
it's great.
Ultimate weapon.
Yeah. But I almost wish they had just been like, why don't you just have personal upgrades? Like maybe a little like rocket, like a little grenade. I wish there was a grenade in this game.
It's called You Shoot Grenades.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I agree too. I kind of wish there was grenades too.
Also, I felt like explosives in general in this game felt like wet paper. Like there were times where I would shoot a piece of cover like next to a piece of cover on the ground, so the splash would hit the guy, and then the guy would just walk around the corner, and he took no damage. Like the area of effect on explosives was like 2 inches in this game. It felt like. Also, there's a lot of janky stuff. Like Freeman, here's an example. One of the upgrades you can get. So there's like 8 upgrade trees, and you just sink points into them, and like you get to a checkpoint, and you unlock the next tier of engineering or something like that. One of the upgrades is engineering. At level 6 out of 9, you get to open safes. You can crack safes. Usually, according to Tyler, I missed some, I guess. Every safe, in the beginning of the game, you run into like 5 safes in the first 2 hours. And they're all like, you need to be engineering 6 to open this. So you either find the passcode to open it, or you just don't find it and you don't open that safe. By the time you have the ability...
to find the
I only found 1 or 2 of the codes. I must have just missed them. I was looking, but I just missed them. But either way, you don't need the upgrades. But either way, by the time you can physically get Engineering 6, never saw another safe for the entire rest of the game.
Damn.
This is true.
And Tyler can back me up. I couldn't have missed that
true.
many. There are just none for the rest of the game. And it's like, what the fuck was the point of offering this as a perk when you don't even give me anything to use it on? It definitely feels... It definitely feels like the game could have used a little more time in the oven. This is definitely that AA jank of like, okay, we got to get this out and we got to make some money, but we didn't really have a lot of play testing or flesh this out too much. There are parts of the game where you can like not get soft locked, but like I think I told Tyler I had to reload a couple times because of like crashes or soft locks that happened during quests. Like I think one time I had at least one time where a guy phased through a wall and didn't die, and so I couldn't kill him and progress, so the game was soft locked.
Did the game use autosaves, or did you have to like manually save
No, there
to
were
avoid?
autosaves, but still, I would have to load back, and
There were 80 autosaves.
Yeah, there weren't great autosaves, but and it's not the end of the world. But you know, most AAA games these days don't really have that kind of thing happen. This happened a couple times to me. But then you play as RoboCop and you pull out, like you said, Todd. What is it? The A9?
Yeah, the AJ9.
The AJ9, and you get that no reload mode mod, and you just and it just feels great to just burst fire these guys. You throw a punch, and boy, that punch is meaty. Like you just really, like you smash these guys when you punch them.
With the meat exploding.
Yeah.
Them is great.
Yeah, it's a fun game if you can get it for a discount, or like you said, it's for free right now on PlayStation. It's a fun time, and they announced DLC after we both beat it. I don't know if I'll go back and play the DLC, honestly.
How long was the campaign?
I will not.
I will tell you that I probably left the game running a couple times, so this probably isn't my actual...
It's a less than 10-hour game for sure.
Okay.
I don't know about less. It's probably around 10. Like, my playtime was 20 hours, but then again, like I said, I left it running a bunch of times.
Yeah, I left my game running. Nah, it's a 10-hour game at like...
I guess, okay, maybe it's around 10.
And you don't have to do everything either. Like, you could skip a lot of bullshit. But that's just me, though.
Oh,
Maybe
wow.
that's...
I didn't even realize that apparently they put out a DLC already, Tyler, the Vanguard pack. It's a skin for your gun and RoboCop himself. It's like, what's the fuck?
Yeah.
Why on earth would you do that?
Hey man, I don't know.
Oh yeah, you have to equip the
skins.
You have to equip the skins in the options. That's why we didn't see it. We probably both own this and didn't see it. You do see yourself in cutscenes. RoboCop, it always camera cuts.
Okay.
So it's like a Mass Effect or whatever where you see your character. So you would see that. And you do see your gun in your hand all the time. I just realized I only didn't unlock 2 achievements. Oh, shit. I didn't think I did that well. Yeah, I only missed 2 achievements. I missed a secret area in the steel mill, Tyler, and I didn't destroy all the UEDs in under 10 minutes when you get in.
Yeah, I didn't do that either. I was playing on hard.
Speaking of which, the writing in this game is a little all over the place.
Nah, the writing is as good as it's supposed to be.
Well, yeah, that's fair. It's fair. But it is goofy. Like
that's the thing though. It's goofy, in that it is so true to the source material.
Yeah, it's like I said. Okay, we can move on. The easiest way to put this is if you have any interest in RoboCop as a franchise, you will probably love this game because for all of its issues, this feels very on brand in good and bad ways for RoboCop.
Yeah, that is the only reason why I would ever recommend it. I also needed a palate cleanser because I was like, I just need to bang out some short games before I decide to commit myself to some more fucking bullshit. And so this was
game
perfect
does
for
move.
that.
Yeah, there's not you and I both completed pretty much 100% of this, and like you said, it was around 10 hours. So
yeah, I mean it probably is longer. Maybe I am giving myself too much credit, but I'm like, I also did leave this game on for like a few work days, so like I don't know. Speaking of more video games, Michelle and I completed Split Fiction.
Yay!
We were not impressed.
Really?
Huh? Yeah, we were not impressed. Not in the slightest.
Wow, that's shocking.
Yeah, compared to like the critical acclaim that this game got, I don't see why. I honestly don't understand. I could go on about a lot of things, but the most important thing about this game, aside from the story not being very good, is that the gameplay and like the actual co-op stuff, like the thing that we wanted to play this game for, was not good.
Oh, really?
Wow, I'm shocked.
Yeah, I was telling Freeman earlier, like I feel bad because he's like, oh well, like I know the whole deal with like It Takes Two, and he's like talking about playing Split Fiction with one of his friends. I'm like, nah, just it doesn't matter if you know the story to It Takes Two, just play It Takes Two over this.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, like I just like it's not that great. Like I don't know, it's a game that I am not going to play again anytime soon. Like whereas
Dang.
I will definitely go back to It Takes Two. Like I would have no problem going to that game again. I'll probably never touch Split Fiction ever again.
That's so
Can I ask you a
wild
question
to
about
me.
It Takes Two?
Huh?
Can I ask you a question about It Takes Two?
Yes.
How did you feel about the elephant scene?
Bro, we were talking about it in this game.
Oh, did we? Wait. While you were
Not
playing
you
this
and
game,
me, sorry, Michelle and I. In fact, they even reference the elephant scene in Split Fiction,
really?
and we were talking about how heartbroken we were again, and that how criminal it was for them to add it to this game.
Dang.
I mean, I'm like mildly over exaggerating a bit, but like that scene actually, I felt was very compelling and very convincing. Like to like it was good. Like that was a good scene, I would say. I didn't feel anything like that in Split Fiction.
Dang.
Yeah. Everything just worked so well together with Split Fiction that like even if the story wasn't there, I was hoping at least the puzzles would make me feel good about things. But there were some things that just felt hectic just to be hectic, and it just wasn't. I just felt it
It
wasn't
wasn't
there.
enjoyable.
Yeah. That like I could go on about this forever, but like it to summarize it, it's not something that Michelle and I are really looking for. I don't even think it's great. Shit, I would rather go back and play A Way Out before I play this again.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It might
Oh.
be a part of it is like, you know, high expectations, but I don't know. I feel like It Takes Two really set the bar high, and this just feels like a really cheap attempt, which is funny considering it's about two writers. Why is the story generic? Like it's just I find it funny, but oh well. Speaking of questionable writing,
Oh. What does that mean, Tyler?
Oh
Please
boy.
explain.
I finished Battlestar Galactica.
Oh man.
Holy fuck. I
Tyler,
don't even know where to begin or end.
Tyler, why don't you just begin pretending that the end doesn't happen? There you go.
Dude, it's all happened before.
Oh, stop.
I kind of guessed the ending, but it didn't
That doesn't make
I
it any
didn't
better.
so the thing I guessed, right? I was like, "Oh, like let me guess, it's all just some kind of fucked up cycle." And then Michelle's like, "You're just going to have to watch." And then I finish it, and I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like what? Not like none of it makes any sense. Like you had me literally until the last episode.
Dang.
I'm amazed you made it that far with them having you.
All right, listen. So apparently this is also a hot take. But I liked season 4 as a whole. I liked way better than season 3 and
Whoa.
possibly more than season 2. Season
Whoa.
3 Yeah, so the opening to season 3, fantastic. Like it does not get
It
better
does not get
for
better.
that show.
That's fair.
Then the start, like season 3 has such a strong start. I
Yeah.
loved it.
No, Tyler, you're not
Yeah.
really wrong because season 3 is when a lot of people think the show goes down. It's just that people don't think season 4 gets better.
Yeah, I know. Well, so the reason why I like season 4 is because they had like pretty cohesive character arcs and story points. But then it kind of gets all sort of undone at the very end for like when we finally figure out what everything is. So in that it kind of fails. But like I don't know. There was like some shit that just made sense and it rolled with it fine, and I thought it was okay. And now it's like looking back, I'm like maybe it wasn't that great, especially if this is where it was heading. But I did like some things for what it was.
That's fair. I mean, I think most people's
yeah.
complaints with the end of the show is I think genuinely a lot of it has to do with the fact that the secret Cylon shit like was such a compelling mystery, and then when you find out who they all are, people are like, no, don't do this to characters I cared about. Don't do it.
Yeah, the whole Final Five deal was like pretty wild.
It's fucking
And
so
out of
wild.
left field, like I still don't know how I exactly feel. I feel like I don't actually like it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Tyler,
like that
Tyler,
part, like the final five parts, parts are not good. Like I don't like that. But it's the other stuff that I found
no,
more
that's fine.
compelling.
I think Tyler, watching it back then in the moment was so different, where it was like week to week, and then this stuff just gets sprung on you, and you're just like, what the fuck? This is so not what I signed up for. Oh my god.
Now I'll tell you what I definitely didn't sign up for. I was ready for it to get weird. I wasn't ready for it to have some kind of stupid religious message
Oh my
on top of
god.
like, dude, I was pissed. I was like, are you serious? Like, I feel like I just got spit in my face. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, I get there's supposed to be some like weird allegory, some like, you know, Dune shit, but Dune shit in that like, oh, we're using organized religion to control people. But like, no, you're gonna sit here and acknowledge and tell me that there's an actual God. Get fucked. Fuck you. Sorry, spoilers for anybody who hasn't watched BSG. But yeah, there's a God. It doesn't spoil the entire show, but like, yeah, there's God. Fuck this. Whatever.
Tyler, you didn't like that your boy sailed off into the sun at the end
boy.
as a machine man?
I honestly didn't really give a shit about Sam.
Dude, not about Sam, but just like what a way to end it. Just be like, just go peace off and explode in the sun
Now-
with all of the ships that we care about.
Am I upset about the fact? Like, who chooses? All right, for anyone who did not watch Battlestar
Nah, just
Galactica,
go. Don't even give him
I
the
will
warning.
be
Just go. Nope.
Hit him with it.
Like they find Earth, Freeman, right? They find Earth. Mind you, this is a spacefaring race. Like we are like spacefaring humans.
Yeah.
Why do they come to Earth? They find like, what's it called? Like a race of humans, like subhumans, and they're like, oh, we can integrate with them. Why is it their first thing to be like, okay, we're gonna abandon all of our technology. We're gonna send the fleet into the fucking sun and just let ourselves degrade. Basically, they chose to force themselves back into the Stone Age.
But why? though?
Why? They
Why?
don't even
why?
really say. They don't even really say. They
Sure
just say,
don't.
we don't want to, like, fuck with shit here. We're just gonna naturally let ourselves just go back into the Stone Age and hope everything resets over again.
Do they think that people who like science fiction, like futuristic shit, would like
This
anything
is
like
what
this?
this is what I'm saying. Like, I came here to watch this science fiction show,
Yes.
and you're gonna fuck with me like this. No one would do this. No one.
Well, you know,
Which
who
is
would?
crazy,
You know who would?
becau-
The writers of the show.
Seems like
and
not
it
knowing
make-
your audience.
And that's the crazy thing is, with every sort of crazy decision like this, there's always been an insane inner conflict with the people involved, and that's super
Everyone
realistic.
is so on board with this plan.
Yeah, everybody. No one complains. They're like, "Oh yeah, this makes so much sense, Admiral. Yeah, send our fleet into the sun. We're gonna abandon all of
we're
our
ready
technology."
to not have technology except for like little shuttlecraft shit.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Whatever.
But Adama gets to fly off with the president.
Well, he lives. He lives at the end.
I know he does. I said he gets to fly
Yeah,
off with her.
oh.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't die, but they get to.
He
fly.
dies.
What?
He dies.
No, I know it. Yes, but I'm just saying they get to fly off and like have their moment together.
Yeah, that's true.
Stupid.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the more I talk about it with people,
The
the
more
more I realize
going down.
I'm like, man, it's not that. It's not good. It's not good.
Look, Tyler, I'm only chuckling because you're finally feeling what has been forgotten and buried in my heart for like 15 years now, because of just like, God, this was so disappointing.
Yeah, I feel
Fuck.
like I'm like relive. This past year has been like, for some reason I chose to relive all of like him's like
all of my throwbacks that you
formative
missed.
years. Yeah,
You really
because
did.
because I'm playing Dragon Age Origin,
Dude,
and,
it's
and
so
like
good.
this morning, or not this morning, like when I told you what the decision I
Yep.
had to make,
Yep.
like I literally stopped during that whole process. I'm like, bro, what happened to BioWare?
Tyler, you are like, you're like excavating my past and like seeing where I came from, and it's so funny.
It was great. You know,
Oh,
I
man.
love this journey. Freeman,
It was a good
when I
journey.
tell you, man, dude, like playing these old BioWare, because like the latest BioWare game I have played was, I almost said BioShock, Mass Effect, and I'm like seeing some glimpses of like the newer BioWare games, and like I watched Michelle play like a bit of Veilguard,
Yeah.
and I'm playing like KOTOR, and I'm playing this Dragon Age Origins. I'm like, bro, what the fuck happened?
No
This
What
wonder.
this was
happened?
No
this was
wonder
the real
Tim is.
era.
No wonder Tim is so jaded when he played shit like this when he was a kid.
Dude, like the stories hold up, like the plots hold up.
Dude, Dragon Age is still so fucking good. Like, just like KOTOR. And you haven't, Tyler, you've only been to Redcliffe, right?
Yeah, I've only been to
Jesus
Redcliffe.
Christ. There's
Yeah,
so much. Holy shit.
I'm ready.
Wait,
But
Red Cliff is in what?
in Dragon Age, it's a place.
Oh, okay.
Basically,
Yeah, it's a
so
place.
so basically in Dragon Age, you have the tutorial area, you have the first area that everyone goes to, and then you have the second area, and then after the second area, the game opens up with like 4 different options.
Yeah,
And Tyler picked one of them, so he has the other 3 and then everything later.
So do you remember me playing KOTOR where they gave me the option to pick a planet to go to?
Yep.
This is the same thing. And I'm trying to get my galactic readiness.
Funny enough, you picked
Like-
the one that I would have said do last.
Really?
Well, because okay, this isn't really a spoiler, but like, even if you did or didn't make the choice you made with the kid, you still have to go to at least one of the other spots to finish that quest line. Actually, if you want to save the kid, if you want to not do murder, you have to go do the circle, then come back, then go do another quest.
They gave that option. I didn't
They
think
did.
it would. I didn't think it would be enough time or something
It
like
was.
that.
They do play it up as like you don't have a lot of time. It doesn't
Oh.
matter. It's one of
Oh,
those
well.
things where they're just lying to you. It's not a time sensitive thing.
Damn, that's how I've got in the past.
I know, and the only thing I can say is this is an old enough game where that wasn't a factor yet.
Gotcha.
But either way,
not-
you didn't make a bad choice. Honestly, like the galactic readiness thing that you were joking about, like you don't need that to be perfect. It's not like honestly, the number doesn't mean all that much by the end of the day.
Okay.
It really doesn't. So don't beat yourself up over it.
It's like a certain number you need to hit to be good. You don't need it maxed.
It's more that the game really doesn't punish you. Like Tyler thinks he really fucked something up. He might have messed up like one good quest outcome, but really the game as a whole is not over or anything like that. Like it's not like, ooh, there's like a separate ending or anything like that. Depending on how your galactic readiness is. Like there's really not that many complicated systems behind it. Like the story itself is really good, but Dragon Age is just too old for all of that to kind of come together at the end.
Yeah.
Like it matters. It'll affect dialogue, but it's not like Tyler's like, GG, I can't get perfect ending now. Like, no, that doesn't matter at all.
Gotcha.
Oh
We should
yeah.
finish up. It's 10:30. Holy shit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta move my laundry along.
I finished. and finished Queen's Gambit
Yay!
because
Nice.
I watched something with Anya Taylor-Joy, and I was like, sure. And Michelle wanted to show it to me. I was like, oh, this was a good one.
Yeah, it was pretty
I
solid.
liked it. And there was nothing else more that I wanted to say other than that.
Nice.
It didn't. There was some like good stuff, some decently I did want to comment that it made watching chess seem interesting, and I think that was really cool.
That's a great way to
That
put
is
it,
actually
Tyler.
a big challenge.
It's a great
I saw
way to
it.
put it.
I think I've only seen episode 1. I do want to get around to watching the rest of it at some
You
point.
should. It's good.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. Also, Anya Taylor-Joy acts unlike most things I have seen her in,
Which is
which
kinda there.
I learn is not her fault, but I think the direction. But that's like just my opinion, man, or something.
Just my opinion, man.
And this last thing is actually the big ticket item for me, but I won't spend that much time on it. But the 5th book, I finally finished it. Michelle and I finished the 5th book in the Stormlight Archives. It's a really big deal. It's written by Brandon Sanderson. And the reason why this is a big deal is because this will be a 10-book series.
Gosh.
And this is supposed to be like the defining, like what you would call midpoint in the entire series. So far, this particular book series has been going on since 2012? No, 2014. So yeah, it has taken him almost about 10 years, just shy over 10 years to write these 5 books.
Crazy.
But he has other books in this universe. But this was like a milestone in the entire series that takes place in his universe. And this book was large. It was like 1,400 pages or some bullshit.
Holy.
Actually, let me see. But yeah, it was. We were expecting a bit more from it, and Michelle was not a huge fan of it overall.
Wow.
But I did like it. I was like, if I were to rate this, give this like a letterboxd review, I probably would give it like a 3.5, but not give it a like.
Gotcha.
Where I'm like, this book was solid, and it had its good parts, but there were also an equal amount, maybe slightly more bad parts. And whereas this wasn't so much as it didn't feel like you could end on this, or like it has like a definitive end. It just felt like it feels like another book in the series. Like it doesn't feel like there's any sort of breakaway. It's like, okay, I guess I'll wait for the next book, right? Where it's like, you know how you read a trilogy, right? Or for example, Tim, best example, Red Rising.
Yep.
That first core trilogy, you know how like you could stop here.
Should have.
Right after.
No, I'm kidding.
Probably should have.
No.
I mean you might be right though, but like regardless,
could've,
right? Like
could have.
You could have, right, and not moved on to the next series, like the next now it's a quadrilogy.
Oh, God.
Right, like you could give someone Red Rising and then tell them that like you could stop if you want, like it's fine. But that's the point though, right? That I'm getting at. Like, you know, it feels like you could stop there or like break away from it for like a decent amount of time, and it's like, oh, okay, like this feels like a reasonable break.
Yeah.
This does not feel like that kind of book. It feels like it is meant to just keep going. And kind of subverting that expectation kind of fucked us up a little bit. Also, the pacing was just rough.
Like inconsistent, or
yeah, like he tried doing this thing, right? There's a contest that is supposed to happen, and there are a bunch of things that are going to happen in this whole book takes place in a 10-day time period. So like it's trying to do a 24 thing where like every hour is an episode, but instead every section is like a day, and it's paced out really weird. Like people who have motivations or different ideologies, they change those ideologies or like motivations within 10 days. It's very unrealistic and it doesn't make any sense. For one character, it does make sense because he was trapped in like this alternate dimension that kind of like dilated time. So like from his perspective, it was 20 years in a span of like a day, right? So like that makes sense, right? But for other people who've lived over a millennium and had certain motivations, they get changed over the span of like 72 hours. And it makes no sense. So we're like, what the fuck? But overall, I was like, oh, this is like a fun book, but I probably wouldn't read it again anytime soon. Or if I was going through all the books again, I probably wouldn't. This just, yeah. That's it. That's all I really want to talk about. Like, I already got all of my my discussion out with Michelle earlier. Yeah, 1,344 pages.
This
Jeez.
a long ass book.
It's a long ass
Brutal.
book, but overall, I still love this series. It's great. In fact, I don't know if I told you guys, but like the main character's house is cobalt blue. That's like one of the reasons why I chose the color for my wedding suit. Actually,
wow.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So yeah, a little insight into that. I was more nerded out than people realized at the wedding.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. That's all the shit that I did. And then what? You guys watched Doctor Stone?
I threw one last thing on here because I realized I hadn't actually put the ending of the Doctor Stone season on here.
I got 2 episodes left. Don't spoil it for me.
I'm not going to spoil the ending. All I'm going to say is Doctor Stone has really shocked me in that the show started with one thing where it was really about the slow development of civilization, and then Stone Wars really kind of let it down. But the show has kind of leaned into that, and actually the island arc was really rough to start, but ended really strong. And this arc has just been awesome. This is like the best full top to bottom season of Doctor Stone since like the first season probably.
I can agree with that.
Which isn't saying that much because the show has never really beaten like a 7, maybe 8 out of 10. Certainly not the consistency of Shangri-La that I was talking about earlier, but the show is just like, this was just a great season. The back and forth with like another group that has technology instead of it being like technology versus natives. It's like, no, this is like technology versus technology. And it was just an awesome time. There's some pretty tense moments, some cool stuff going on. And the ending makes me pretty curious what the last season is going to look like. I really don't know how this is all going to come together in one final season. I genuinely don't know because I was actually shocked, like a little bit shocked at what the final episode ended on. So more to come. I think it's actually coming back in summer also, right, Freeman? Like another thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if it's like this is a 3-core project.
I can't remember.
And that's the end of the franchise.
But it is coming back in the summer, so we don't have to wait long to see the part 2. And I don't think we have a confirmed part 3. I believe this is supposed to be the end, unless they go.
No, Science Future's 3 cores.
Okay, so there's gonna be one more core. So I'm curious to see how the last 2 cores go, but it's gonna be a lot of fun based on how these last 2 episodes went. I think you're gonna really like it, Friedman.
I mean, I'm enjoying the season so far. Shit's good.
Yeah, now we gotta start the next season, which Fire Force is the. Can I just say real quick, Freeman? Actually, no, I'll save it for off the podcast. It's just Mal numbers. It's goofy. Let's end the podcast. We're all tired. We need to go to bed.
Yeah, for real.
Thank you all so much for listening. I'm sorry we missed a week. My throat was dead last week. I feel like I'm starting to even sound bad now. But barring anything else, we should be back in 2 weeks for episode 200.
200.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
We'll probably have nothing special for it. But either way, until then, everybody, my name is Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Not a Cylon, Tyler.
Sounds like something a Cylon would say.
Meet more.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.